Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Check, check. 1 2 1 2. If you're joining us, you're a touch early. We'll have pregame coverage starting here at 6:40 p.m. in Chapman. It's the Battle of Dickinson County for our game of the week here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
It's time for football. This is a presentation of Eagle Media and Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine. This is the Game of the Week. Here with your play-by-play for tonight's game is Tyler Henry.
The football rivalry between Abilene and Chapman dates back more than a century, but in all that time, it's never lost its juice. Since 1892, these two have gotten together on the gridiron every single year, and there's no love lost in the oldest high school football rivalry west of the Mississippi. The first chapter in this series may have been written more than 100 years ago, but the latest chapter, that will be written tonight, and we're so glad to be bringing it to you courtesy of Smart Insurance and Kirsten Day at selling785.com. Hello everyone, and welcome inside the broadcast booth for another exciting edition of our Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week. I'm Tyler Henry, and it's so good to be with you here in Chapman, Kansas. Both teams have dominated this series in stretches over the more than century that this game has been played, but today the run belongs to the Cowboys, who have taken each of the last 3 games between the two. Chapman's class of 2022 became the first in Irish history to never relinquish this matchup, winning 4 straight over Abilene in as many years, but tonight the Cowboys class of 2026 has a chance to do the same and bring the last 8 contests to an even split. Both teams return low-scoring affairs in week number 1 and return several key pieces from last year's squads. Both teams will be eager to earn a victory in a game that has every eyeball in Dickinson County on this very field. We'll take a break, but when we return, we'll hear from both head coaches ahead of this matchup and get you your new image audio keys to the game. This is the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week. You're tuned in right here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
And now back to the football action with your Game of the Week.
Back here on the Salina Post Sports Network pregame show as we get ready for the Battle of Dickinson County. And we're joined now by second-year Chapman head coach Jason Grider. Coach, first and foremost, thank you so much for taking some time and joining us for pregame today.
Yep, you bet. Appreciate it.
So before we dig into last week just a little, how do you feel overall about where the football culture at Chapman is as you head into your second year here?
Yeah, we feel good about it. Our kids have made a lot of strides in the off season. It's a hard-working group of kids that that put a lot of work in this off season and definitely pay their dues and we're looking forward to picking up some wins on Friday nights.
Your team had a tough battle with Smith Center last week. It led to a 16-6 loss, but it was a close game. It was scoreless at half. What was kind of your biggest takeaway from week 1?
Yeah, just too many mistakes. We too many penalties. Just too many mental errors. Still had a chance to win the game, and then just let it slip away from us. And it was a hats off to Smith Center. They did enough down the stretch to win the game, and they're a much improved ball club as well. So, we'll get those penalties and get those things corrected and be a little more disciplined, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I thought our defense played really well, but on the offensive side of the ball, we just didn't do enough to win the ball game, and we're going to get those things corrected.
Overall, from what you saw in week number 1, what do you think could be the biggest strength of Chapman football this season?
Well, I think defensively we played really well. So, hopefully that's a good sign. Our defense right now is ahead of our offense, and I think that hopefully that's a big strength for us. We've got really good leadership, and again, we got kids that we don't have to coach. We don't have to coach effort here. Our kids give great effort, so we get things cleaned up a little bit, and we'll be a little sharper on Friday night.
Well, and speaking of which, fundamentally, what are some of the biggest improvements that you need to see from week 1 to week 2 to kind of take that next step as a team?
Well, I think we just need to cut a lot of the penalties out. We just had too many penalties, too many silly mistakes. And so, that's the biggest thing is if we can do those things, everything else will take care of themselves. The effort was there. The kids played hard. It's just too many mental errors.
Overall, Adiel Becker takes over as kind of the leader of this team. We talked about him a lot preseason. How do you feel about what you got at him in week number 1?
Did a great job. We just couldn't get him going offensively. We were, we would get a little bit of thing, get a drive going, and then a couple penalties put us back, and we just can't do that and win a game. But I thought he did an outstanding job on both sides of the ball.
You got a big matchup here in week number 2. This is a rivalry that goes all the way back to 1892. It's the oldest rivalry west of the Mississippi, and you got to experience it firsthand last year. Now that you've kind of seen what this is, what does this game specifically mean to these kids in these communities?
Well, I think it's important to a lot of people. It's important to the community. It's fun. It's always fun to have rivalries. I know our kids look forward to it. I'm sure their kids look forward to it, and it's a big deal to both teams, and it makes for a fun environment, and it should make for a fun Friday night.
What is kind of your overall takeaway from Abilene when you have a chance to watch them on film? What do you see and where do they look strong?
Well, they're very athletic as usual. The quarterback, Function kid, is a great athlete and does a lot of things well. I think they're going to be a good ball club, and with them taking the loss on Friday like we did, this game's even more important for both clubs to get on the winning side of things.
Well, and speaking of last week, Abilene was also in a scoreless game at halftime a week ago. When you look at their defense, where do you feel like that unit kind of presents some issues, and where will your offense have to be sharp this week?
Well, I think they've got some speed on that side of the unit, on that side of the field, on both sides of the field, and again, they're very athletic, so that's that could cause us some problems. So we're gonna have to keep the ball away from them offensively. In order to do that, we're gonna have to be really sharp and mistake free, and negate some of that athletic ability that they have.
Taken Funston, as you mentioned, an athletic kid at quarterback for the Cowboys. He didn't run a ton last week, but we know he's capable of kind of getting out and breaking one off every now and then. How do you contain an athlete like that defensively?
Well, you got to do it with the team defense. We got to rally to him and be sure tacklers, and then when he gets in space, you got to break down and come to balance and make a good tackle and get as many guys to the ball as we can. He's very good with the ball in his hands and very good in space. So, we've got to as a team defensively, got to be able to contain him.
Well, and last thing for you here, Coach, I know we've talked a little offense, we've talked a little defense, but if you have to boil it down to kind of the top points, what are your biggest keys to the game to get this win and bounce back to 1-1 this week?
Yeah, we've got to move the ball offensively. We have to control the clock offensively and keep it out of their hands, and defensively we've got to get stops and get our defense off the field and get our offense back out there. So, again, it boils down to who's the best blockers and best tacklers and the most physical football team is going to probably win this game. So, that's the two biggest things. And then obviously what I've touched on a lot is we got to limit our mistakes.
Well, Coach Grider, thank you so much for your time, sir. Best of luck to your Irish tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Once again, that was Jason Grider, head coach of the Chapman Fighting Irish. We'll step away, but when we return, pregame rolls on. You're watching the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week. It's right here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
Are you looking to buy or sell real estate? With over 11 years of experience serving Northeast Kansas from Abilene to Wamego, leave it to a professional. Call Kirsten Day, realtor and owner with Homefront Real Estate Group. Buying a home, whether it be your first or second time, is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll make in a lifetime. Therefore, finding the right agent to help you make the process easier is essential. Kirsten Day is there for you and your family every step of the way. Visit Kirsten Day online at selling785.com.
And now back to the football action with your Game of the Week.
Back here on the Salina Post Sports Network pregame show as we get ready for the Battle of Dickinson County. And we're joined now by Abilene head coach Brad Nix. Coach Nix, first and foremost, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and speaking with us here.
You bet, Tyler. Thanks a lot for having me on. I appreciate it.
So this is an Abilene team that gets a ton of veterans back for another year. How different is it for you as a coach when you go into a season knowing that you've got guys who have been here before?
Yeah, I think it's great from a culture standpoint because they know what to expect. They know what the expectations are. They have high expectations for the season. They've been great leaders. So it's been a lot of fun to have those guys around.
Your team put up a good fight against Clay Center, a team that defeated you handily last season. What was your biggest takeaway from a game that was scoreless at halftime, and just kind of the way your guys played in that one?
It's a tough game. It's a really tough game. Clay Center's always going to be very good. They're very well coached. Coach Henry does a great job, with their offense, and it's tough. And I was really proud of our kids for how hard we fought. And I think we squandered some opportunities in the first half. I think we could have put 7 or 14 on the board offensively, and we just couldn't do it. And our defense just kept fighting, and unfortunately we gave one up on a 4th and 5 from midfield really late in the third quarter. But again, I was really proud of how our kids responded to that. We came back and we're able to put together a drive of our own and tie it up. And in the end, unfortunately, we just made some errors late in the game, and that cost us the victory. But I was really proud of our kids for just how hard they fought, and the fact that they never gave up, and I think that's going to speak high volume for the kind of season that we can still have.
Well, and as a coach, I know you want to win every single game, every single week, obviously. But you look at this matchup last year. Clay Center won 34-7. This year, just 14-7. Do you feel like that was kind of a good measuring stick for just how far your guys have come in one off season?
Yeah, for sure. I do, and Clay Center lost some guys from last year's team, as so did we. We lost some pretty big pieces too, and it's a good measuring stick for us. And we want to be positive about it. You hate to lose a game where you feel like maybe you could have won it. Not to take anything away from Clay Center, they're a great team, but you feel like you played well enough, to win, and it didn't happen. But I think with these guys, they don't hang their head or mope. They just came back to practice this week, and with even more gusto, and it's Chapman week, so you got to get ready to go, and they've had a great week of practice.
Well, and we'll get to Chapman here in just a moment, but, from all the positive things that you saw in week number 1, what do you feel like has the potential to be maybe the biggest strength of Abilene football this season?
I still think it's our D-line. I think our D-line has done a great job, and, that and Ethan Evans, I think Ethan was great. We actually – Clay Center kind of was going to our strong side and actually had to end up second half. They went a lot to our split side, and I think that's was a big piece of that. And I think just our D line has been great. But I was really, really happy with how our defense played. I think that could be really a big strength for us this year. I still have a lot of faith in our offense, and I know we're going to get Lane Hookman going. Running the ball, and Tegan Funston running the ball, and I know our O-line is going to do a great job with that.
I know every team wants to make big improvements, from week 1 to week 2. Where do you feel like your team can kind of level up this week and maybe take that next step as a team?
Yeah, I think it's just not missing opportunities. I think, like I said, on the offensive side, I thought we had a few opportunities in the first half that we just, we drove the ball. We had more yards on total offense than what Clay Center did in the game. We moved the ball well in the first half. We just didn't get any points out of it. And so I think we've got to finish drives and sustain drives and do that, not miss opportunities. And same thing on defense, just don't miss an opportunity. Make sure we're staying the same sound even when we get tired.
Overall, you mentioned it, it's Chapman week. This is a rivalry that goes back to 1892. It's the oldest rivalry west of the Mississippi. What does this game mean to you, to the kids in the locker rooms, and to these two communities?
It means everything. You just said it. I mean, how cool is it to say that this is, we get to play in the game that's the oldest rivalry west of the Mississippi. That's incredible. It's an awesome feeling. It's an awesome part. I think that makes high school football special. It's just different, and I love it. I love being a part of it. It is a big game for us every year. At the end of the day, we're going to move on. It's not our Super Bowl, but at the same time, it's a huge game. It's a huge game for our kids. It's a huge game for our school, for our community, and everybody that's involved in it. And I tell the kids every year, we're not just playing for this year and for this team. We're playing for everybody that's ever wore a Cowboy jersey, and this game is really important to our community and to all of our alumni as well.
Well, and you mentioned it, and you've been on both sides of this rivalry, right? But what has been the difference in the dynamic these last couple of years, where Abilene has been the team that's kind of dominated the rivalry, and people expect you to hold on to that in Abilene?
I don't know what's necessarily been different, because it was always important. I think it's important every year, whether we end up winning or losing. I do feel like our kids have just done a great job in the weight room and put in that time and effort. We like I said, we take this game very seriously. You never overlook Chapman. They're going to be very well coached. I know second year coach now. These guys know what to expect, and I know they're gonna bring everything they've got, and so we've got to really come out and we've got to play well. We're going to have to match their physicality and play hard.
When you have a chance to scout Chapman on film, they bring back a lot of talent, just like you guys did. What do you see on tape, and where do they look strong?
They've got a new quarterback, but he looks good. He likes to run the ball. He scored their touchdown the other night, but it all starts with the Becker kid in the backfield. I think he's kind of their go-to guy, and he's a strong running back. They've got another fullback, number 33. I don't remember his name, but he's really good as well. They just run hard. They're just tough. Their linemen are a lot, like ours. They're a little bit undersized. 190 to 200 pounds, which is kind of what we have, and but they're just tough and gritty. They're just tough and gritty, and they're going to get after you, and they're going to fight, and so again, like I said, we're going to have to match their physicality and get after them.
You've got a great dual threat quarterback, running the show for your team. When you think about the way this matchup might revolve around him and what he needs to step up and do, what are you expecting to see out of your quarterback here this week in Tegan Funston?
Yeah, with Tegan, it's just going to continue to be a great leader for us, and right now in practice, he's been that. I think we got to get him going a little bit more on the ground, find ways to put the ball in his hand because he is electric. And so that's something that I want to see us do, get him the ball in space and let Tegan do what Tegan does. But he's made some really great decisions on when to give the ball and when to keep it, as well as throwing the ball as well. And so I think we just gotta keep pushing him to get better. And he's one of those yes or no sir kids. He always wants to know, hey, how can I get better? What do I have to do to get better? And so that's always exciting, and that's fun to coach.
Well, and last thing for you here, Coach, I know we've talked a little offense, a little defense, but when you boil it all down to the finer points, what are your biggest keys to the game here for Abilene to keep the title here over Chapman and move to 1-1?
No penalties, no turnovers, and don't miss tackles. I think that's it. No penalties, no turnovers, and don't miss tackles.
Well, Coach Nix, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck to your Cowboys here tonight.
You bet. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Once again, that was Brad Nix, head coach of the Abilene Cowboys. We'll step away, but when we return, pregame rolls on. You're watching the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week, and it's right here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
Kurt here from Abilene Termite and Pest Control. We can't control pests like that unemployed 25-year-old living in your basement, but the creepy crawly ones are our specialty. From Salina to Manhattan, Clay Center to Hillsboro, and everywhere in between. We've been locally owned and here for you since 1951, offering great service, a firm handshake, and no long-term contracts. Visit AbileneTermite.com or find us on Facebook. I'm Kurt Phillips, and we'll keep the bugs out for you.
Astra Bank knows the challenges you face as a business owner. That's why they're committed to providing the dependable financial solutions that will help your business thrive. Visit them in Abilene, Chapman, or online at astra.bank. Astra Bank, member FDIC.
Get ready for the 2025 Jeep Scavenger Hunt this Saturday at Marshall Motors in Salina. The day kicks off with a Show and Shine Jeep Car Show, 9 to 11 a.m. with cash prizes for People's Choice, Most Trail Ready, and Best of Show. Then hit the trails in the Scavenger Hunt for your chance at $500 cash and awards. Registration still accepted, just $75 per Jeep, and includes 2 barbecue tickets, a t-shirt, and more. Don't miss the 2025 Jeep Hunt this Saturday at Marshall Motors in Salina.
And now back to the football action with your Game of the Week.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back in here inside the broadcast booth at Chapman High School. Tyler Henry alongside you, Travis Godfrey, handling all of our camera and production duties here tonight, and we've got a good one. It's the oldest rivalry west of the Mississippi, a game that's been played for more than a century. Abilene makes the trip here to Chapman High School in a battle of the Cowboys and the Fighting Irish. Talked a little bit about it on the pregame show, but these are two teams that suffered really close losses in week number 1. For Abilene, that game 14-7 against a really good Clay Center team. Meanwhile, for Chapman, it was a team that they beat a season ago as they lost their contest 16-6 against Smith Center. We've got the coin toss going on down here at midfield. And with that, we are just about ready to kick this one off. The Chapman Fighting Irish have deferred to the second half, and that means that Abilene will get the football to start this contest. The Cowboys have owned this series recently. We'll get into some of the accolades there, but before we go any further, I want to say a very special thank you to Smart Insurance with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington, and Kirsten Day at selling785.com for making our coverage of this year's Battle of Dickinson County possible. We've got a great game for you tonight. Before we go and get into it, let's get into our new image audio keys to the game. For the Abilene Cowboys, it all revolves around number 6. Tegan Funston really kind of had his coming out party in week number 2 against Chapman last week. It was a game where he went for 4 touchdowns, and he is very dangerous in the open field. If Abilene can find a way to get him rolling, it opens up the running game. It opens up the passing game. They are going to have success. On the other side for Chapman, they have to be able to run the football here tonight. This is a team that historically has never passed the ball at a crazy rate. They used to run the flex bone. They still run double tight. And it's a Chapman squad that, I mean, let's look at the numbers. Last week, attempted just 4 passes. So the passing game is not their game, and that means ball control, clock killing, and keeping it on the ground. Those are your new image audio keys to the game for the Chapman Fighting Irish. Chapman comes out tonight in their all-green jerseys. Green pants with a white stripe, green helmets with the white stripe. Meanwhile, for Abilene, they go with the white jerseys, orange numerals, orange pants, and orange helmets with the Abilene A posted across the side. Adiel Becker has the ball on the tee. Davin Cuba and Lane Hookman are back deep to return here for the Abilene Cowboys. Two schools separated by a stone's throw. They share a county, and tonight it's not big enough for the two of them. The 132nd installment of this rivalry game is underway as the kickoff will be taken back at, muffed back at the 10-yard line, and it's not going to roll far enough for them to take this as a touchback. So the tackle is made down at the 10-yard line of David Kuba, and it's horrible field position to start this game for the Abilene Cowboys. Let's meet the Abilene offense. It all starts with quarterback Tegan Funston, a 6'1" senior. He will be joined in the backfield by Lane Hookman, a 5'9" senior. Your top wide receiving options are Levi Evans, Lane Hookman, and Landon Rogers, and your offensive line from left to right, Cale Castile, Braden Blake, Jalen Robinson, Pierce Castile, and Cannon Taylor. They will spread it out here. 2 receivers split off to the right-hand side. Double tight is the look here for Funston and company. See what they want to run here on 1st down and 10. They will shift things up. Now those 2 tight ends go to the right side. It's a handoff. It goes nowhere, and it is a big tackle for loss. The defensive line of Chapman got in to cause the 2-yard loss of Lane Hookman. That defense in the trenches, it's Ethan Litzinger, Naziah Brown, and Isaac Van Meter. Your linebackers, Brecken Francis, Kaysen DeWeese, Adiel Becker, and Ian Sayers. Safeties are Colton Bell and Braxton Prosser. And the corners today, Dom Krogman and Andrew Scott. And they're actually going to say it's a loss of 5 on the play. So that'll bring up, I'll call it 4. It's 2nd down and 14, and we've got a whistle and a flag here. And is this delay of game on the Cowboys? It is. Wow. So Abilene goes 4 yards backwards on 1st down. It's delay of game on 2nd down. And our referee wants to huddle up his guys and talk something over there. And it looks like Chapman will send a manager out as nobody went and picked up the tee. And now said manager is struggling to locate the tee. But back at the line of scrimmage, yeah, they're going to back him up, and it will be the full 5 yards. 5 yards, half the distance, about the same. Matter of fact, they do say half the distance. So it is now second down and about 18 for the Abilene Cowboys. A disastrous kickoff return and a disastrous first down. Here's a screen on first down. Caught there by thrower on the outside. He wants to work his way up to about the 15-yard line. A solid gain. And a quick correction on my part, that's Levi Evans who hauls in the game's first catch. He'll get it for a gain of, call it 14. Funston starts the day 1 for 1, and that turns what was not a very manageable second down and 18 into a much more manageable third down and 4. If you're Chapman, this is an excellent chance to get off the field here on third down, as you know Abilene trusts that defense, a defense that held Clay Center to just 14 points last week. Bunch set, everybody in tight here. They will hand this off, but again, there is no running room at all. It's a gain of 1. It brings up fourth down. Gang tackling there for the Chapman Fighting Irish. Dom Krogman was in on the play. And both carries for Abilene going in the wrong direction, and the punt team is on. This is the third year that I've covered this rivalry game here on Salina Post. This is the first time I can remember Abilene starting with a 3-and-out. It is an excellent start here for the Chapman Fighting Irish. They're going to have a chance to return this as back deep, Brecken Francis and Adiel Becker. He does a little bit of everything, and boy, do we get another delay of game? No, it is a timeout called here by Abilene to salvage a little bit of field position. We've got a lot of folks that are helping us bring you coverage of the Battle of Dickinson County that we would like to thank. And boy, it all starts, of course, with our presenting sponsor here tonight in Smart Insurance. They've got locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Also, Kirsten Day at selling785.com. But we also want to make sure we give a big shout out to M&M Tire and Auto in Abilene, Memorial Health System, caring for you, First Bank Kansas, located at North Buckeye in Abilene, and Abilene Car Sales. Visit them online at AbileneCarsales.com. So they will salvage the field position, but they burn a timeout. And on the 3-and-out, it is now Tegan Funston back deep to punt this away here for Abilene, and the Cowboys will get it away. Chapman, boy, you can tell they want to field this. That might be a mistake, but no. Breaking it here to the outside is Brecken Francis, who is tackled down at the 45-yard line, and that brings the offense onto the field here for Chapman, and let's meet him. You've got a new quarterback in junior Andrew Scott. He will run the offense. His top guys in the backfield, it will be a 3-back set with Adiel Becker, Brecken Francis, and Colton Bell. The 2 tight ends are Isaac Van Meter and Talon Decker. And then the offensive line from left to right is Hunter Kidd, Ethan Litzinger, Jacob Gefeller, Ian Sayers, and Neziah Brown. At left guard, Gio Becker is out with an injury this week, so Litzinger steps up to take his place. That'll be something we'll keep an eye on throughout the course of this game. All 3 backs lined up in a line set here as they will hand this off, and it will go ahead for a solid gain of about 6 on the play. Isaac Van Meter on the carry. I believe that's the first time we've seen his number called on a run this season. But they will get it to the big fella, and he'll carry it ahead for a gain of 5. For Chapman, they want to try to kill some clock and keep the football. The more time they can keep this Abilene offense off the field, the better, especially if it's a long drive that ends in a score. This time they will hand it off to one of the up backs, but Abilene all over that as they try to get Kason DeWeese a little something, and all he'll find is a loss of 1. Let's meet the defense for the Abilene Cowboys in this game. Up front, it's Heath Hookman, Pierce Castile, Jalen Robinson and Jackson Kuba. In the linebacking core, Ethan Evans, Cash Hargrave, and Caden Thrower. Your cornerbacks are Tegan Funston and Levi Evans, and the starting safeties tonight are Davin Kuba and Aiden Woods. 3rd down and 6. A Chapman team that I would say is about 95-5 run pass. Under center goes Andrew Scott. He'll take the snap. It is a quarterback keeper here to the outside. A good textbook tackle up front. Kale Castile got in there and made sure that there was not a lot of room for Scott to run. That'll bring up 4th down. And we'll see if Abilene, or rather if Chapman wants to keep the offense on the field here. Got the Irish trying to make a statement early in this game, but it looks like they will. Yep, that is Adiel Becker who will punt this away. So they will kick it, and I don't know why, but Abilene's not keeping anybody deep here. So either they're expecting a fake or they're not. Well, we got a false start one way or the other, so that's going to back them up, and that'll give Abilene a chance to kind of reassess. And, yeah, now Abilene will send somebody back deep to return this punt. And it is the ever-dangerous Tegan Funston. You don't typically see your starting quarterback out there returning punts, but for Abilene, they know what an athlete he is, and they want to give him a chance to do his thing. End over end punt. This takes a couple of bounces. It's fielded back at about the 15-yard line. Now cutting this up the field, looking for a lane down to the far side. Grabbed and tackled at the 35, and the offense is back onto the field here for the Cowboys. Well, we talked with head coach Brad Nix. By the way, we've got another penalty flag down. So we'll have to check that. Of course, in the first 2 weeks of the high school football season, we get 2 of the most heated rivalries, I mean, really anywhere in the state. And as such, we see a lot of penalty stoppages in these games. We'll have to see what the call is as our white hat comes out to render his verdict. And there you go. Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Abilene, and that pairs perfectly with what I was about to say, which is that Coach Nix told us, he said, look, if we can cut down on the silly penalties, we like our chances this year against anybody. And you can't be giving away 15 free yards in a situation like this, but that's exactly what Abilene does. Coverage of this game is brought to you in part by AC Westside Market in Abilene. Relax and come shop with them on the west side of Abilene. Also by Susie's Deli, located at 102 North Buckeye in Abilene. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Abilene went 3 and out on their first drive. Chapman did the same. We've got 7:11 to go in a scoreless ball game here in the first quarter. Man in motion will take it on that little toss, looking for space to the outside. A great tackle, but another flag is thrown. No gain on the play for Davin Kuba. Great tackle by the outside linebacker. I believe that was Sayers who got a hand on him, but a hold against Abilene. That's their 3rd penalty in their first 3 drives of the game, and that'll back them up even further here. It's tough because it's not like they gained a lot there on first down. And instead, you're going to give up even more penalty yardage. And they've been putting themselves behind the sticks early in this game. Coverage of tonight's game is brought to you in part by Don's Tire and Supply in South Abilene and by Last Chance Graphics in Abilene. They've got personalized products for your home, office, or booster club. So it's first down and Abilene to go for the Cowboys. They've got 20 yards to pick up the first. They will hand this off, trying to run it up the middle, and Chapman is having none of it. No gain on the play. For the second time, they try to go to Hookman, and there is nothing there. That's what we heard Jason Grider talk about in the pregame, and he told me off the air as well. He said, look, we feel really good about our defense. And they are flying to the football. They're getting to their spots earlier. This is a much improved unit from a season ago on a team that won just 3 games. We have not seen Funston air it out yet. He's got Hookman tucked in his left hip pocket. He'll take the snap. Two-step drop. He does want to go to the air. The southpaw steps up, now wants to run. Has one man in the second level of beat, makes him miss. Now wants to cut it back to the interior. And there you go. It's the first big positive gain on the ground for Abilene. Call it a 21-yard gain for Tegan Funston on a not designed run. That was very much a scramble. But Funston able to make it work for him. Got a ball game on our hands early. 6 minutes remain here in the first quarter. This Chapman defense, I know they give up a lot there, and that's a tackle that Adiel Becker will tell you he should have had, but you got to feel good about what you've gotten so far if you are Jason Grider. Two receivers off to the right-hand side. Funston hands it off. This time they go left, and did that ball come out? I don't think it did, but it is another loss of one for Lane Hookman. Hookman had a field day in this game last year. So far, he has carried the ball 4 times for -4, -2, 0, and -1. Want to say a special thank you to Hirsch Real Estate for helping bring you coverage of tonight's game with 2 locations and 7 agents serving all of Northeast and North Central Kansas. Right now, it's Abilene trying to pick this up on 2nd and 10. Funston claps his hands, low snap, fires right, does have a receiver, but won't find much. It's a gain of just 4 as he connects with his tight end. That's Lane Hookman on the outside, but another big third down up and coming here for the Cowboys. This rivalry has a tendency to teeter back and forth. Chapman won it 4 years in a row. Abilene came back, they took it, and they've now won it 3 years in a row. They want to do the same, and there are some seniors wearing orange and white tonight that would love to never concede this rivalry series to the Irish. Funston back to the air, might have had it deflected. Chapman's on it. The Irish cover it up. It was Adiel Becker who got on the football, and Chapman's going to take over in plus territory. What a momentum swinging play that is. That is huge. Funston fumbles. And there to cover it up, Adiel Becker. So Chapman puts the offense back on the field. 4:49 left to go, still scoreless here in the first quarter. And this Abilene offense can find nothing against Chapman. Irish go back to work. Aiden Scott hands this off to the deepest back. It is Becker, and he, for his trouble, will find about 2 yards on his first carry of the night. It's that thing, right, with the Irish. They run it so much. It's just a flurry of jab and jab and jab, and then you wait and take your shot on that uppercut knockout punch, and they've got it. They've caught people overselling to stop the run. And then the next thing you know, Andrew Scott drops back and throws one. This season, he is just 1 for 1. They have attempted just 3 passes, and 2 of them, I believe, were on trick plays. This is more of an eye look as they will shift one of those backs off to the left side. There is a hole. There is also a flag, so it's carried up to the 20-yard line by Kaysen DeWeese, but we've got to check the laundry and see whether this is coming back. And, yep, there you go. It is a hold against Chapman, their second penalty of the game, and that's the one thing that Chapman can't afford. And we've seen this, I mean, really year in and year out with the Irish, is if they do get penalties and they do get behind the sticks, this is an offense that's designed to get 3 yards in a cloud of dust on any given play. But now you put yourself in 2nd and 16. And for an offense that wants to average 3, 4, 5 yards a carry on the ground, that makes things a little bit tougher. And as a result, here comes Isaac Van Meter, the team's leading tight end. Andrew Scott, again, he only had 1 passing attempt last week. He completed it for 21 yards. It went to Colton Bell. They will line it up in the I formation here. They will hand it off to Becker, who finds his way through the first layer, now finds his way through the second layer. There is a flag down, but Becker is gone, and if it stands, Chapman will strike first in this rivalry series, but this might be coming back. And there you go. It is another holding call against the Irish. That's going to wipe out what would have been an Adiel Becker touchdown. Brutal stuff on the first drive, but sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, and now you're looking at, oh boy, I mean, this is, what, 2nd and 30? It's officially 2nd and 28. You would think got to go to the air here if you're Chapman, right? No, they will keep it on the ground. They want to find some more room up the left side. Well, there goes Becker again. He had the big carry a moment ago. He gets up to the 20. He might have just picked this up. We'll see where they mark him down. They're going to say he went out of bounds at the, call it the 21. But how about a 27-yard gain for Adiel Becker? He says, okay, you want to wipe out the touchdown? I'll just rumble for another 28. Great stuff out of Becker. And it appears we have got a timeout, and they want to measure this. And, I mean, at least where they're standing right now, there's no real reason to bring out the chains, as he appeared to be short. But we will see what they get out of this measurement. Kind of depends, too, on whether the chain gang was actually set up right at the line to gain or whether they were set up a little bit behind it. And, yep, there is the call. It is, in fact, 3rd and inches, but if there's an offense that's almost designed for that, it would be this one. Want to say a special thank you to Amanda West of State Farm Agency in Abilene, supporting all area student athletes and helping us bring you coverage of tonight's Battle of Dickinson County. Chapman may very well be in 4-down territory this deep into Abilene territory. I would be unsurprised, and it looks like Coach Nix doesn't like the look, and he will call timeout and talk this over. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, it's the remainder of quarter number 1. Still scoreless with 3:01 to go here on the Salina Post Sports Network.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
Are you looking to buy or sell real estate? With over 11 years of experience serving Northeast Kansas from Abilene to Wamego, leave it to a professional. Call Kirsten Day, realtor and owner with Homefront Real Estate Group. Buying a home, whether it be your first or second time, is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll make in a lifetime. Therefore, finding the right agent to help you make the process easier is essential. Kirsten Day is there for you and your family every step of the way. Visit Kirsten Day online at selling785.com.
Chapman lines it up. They want to run this and try to pick up the first down. It's 3rd and inches. They are deep in Abilene territory, and they will give this. Boy, they gave it on the outside to Brecken Francis, and I don't think he got it. Francis running in mud, and now it's 4th down and inches. And like I said, unless you really trust your kicker, I would imagine they are going to go for it here. Really nothing to lose. Worst case scenario, you turn it over where a touchback would have started to drive anyway. Coverage of today's Battle for Dickinson County is presented by Smart Insurance. Locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. So they will line it up. It's a big big 4th down and 1 here for the Irish. They will quickly give it to the up man. It's going to be a judgment call by the official, but it looks like he was stopped short. And there you have it. The Abilene defense is going to stand tall and force a turnover on downs. They needed the stop, and they got it. Adiel Becker fighting for every yard, but twice on 3rd and inches and 4th and inches, there was nothing there. So Abilene sets up shop. They've got it here, 1st down and 10, as they put the offense back on the field. Funston fumbled to turn it over last time. They are looking for a little spark here. They want to run the read option, and that is going nowhere. Big tackle on the outside. That was huge, as getting to it and shutting it down right away was Ethan Litzinger. Boy, he's played well in this game. And that's going to go for a loss of 4. Lane Hookman continues to lose yardage. He is a heck of an athlete, but tonight he's carried the rock 5 times, and he has lost yardage every single time. Clock is running, 1:40 left to go here in the opening quarter. Abilene looking for some positive momentum. They have not been on the Chapman side of the 50 at any point in this game. They've got 2 backs in there to give some assistance to Funston. A flag flies, catch is made on the outside. They will try to break this out. Should be enough for the 1st down. If it counts, give 15 yards to Levi Evans, but let's check the flag here, and it looks like this is coming back. False start is the call. I'm a little surprised they didn't blow that dead. Typically with a false start, you want to blow the whole play dead, as it is kind of a risk to injury. But, boy, again, for Abilene, they just keep backing up. They have the 14-yard gain to Evans, the 21-yard gain to Funston. Every other play that they've run combined, negative yardage on the night for the Abilene offense. Funston in the shotgun. Lane Hookman tucked in, sidecar right. Got to have something here on 2nd and 20. They want to run the option again. This time Funston gets to the outside. He'll find his way up to about the 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 8. And Tegan Funston at least moving in the right direction as we approach the final minute of quarter number 1. Third down and 13. I know I mentioned it before. We have not seen Tegan Funston take a shot downfield. If he's going to do that, keep an eye on the near side of your screen. That's where Levi Evans is setting up shop. He is almost grabbed, and just throwing it away is Funston, who is going to not lose yardage, but salvage what should have been a sack. He had Ethan Litzinger and Neziah Brown right up in his grill. And it is 4th down and 13. And you can start to see how these two teams were both in scoreless ties at halftime a week ago. We might have one on our hands here. If you're a fan of defense, you've come to the right place. Adiel Becker and Brecken Francis are back deep to return. Francis muffs it, has to get on it, and will. Back at the 32-yard line. And that punt will turn it back over to the Irish with about 28 seconds left to go. It'll also give us a chance to thank Robson Oil in Abilene for their help in bringing you tonight's game, keeping Dickinson County on the road and fueled on the farm. Also today, Excavating and Concrete, specializing in concrete, sewer replacement, septic system pumping, water line repairs, and livestock water systems. From Manhattan to Salina, call Day Excavating and Concrete. Got a lot of great people in the Chapman and Abilene areas that love helping out when it comes to bringing you coverage of these student athletes. Andrew Scott, 3-back set. Handoff to the second of those 3 to come through the line. It's Adiel Becker on a gain of 5. The rush has been steady, but the penalties have been backbreaking for this Chapman team. As right now, the only team to get into the end zone on an offensive play was Chapman. And that touchdown was called back due to one of those big penalties. And that'll bring us to the end of quarter number 1. We will step away. When we come back, we'll see if we can't break the scoreless draw between Abilene and Chapman. The Battle of Dickinson County is presented by Smart Insurance.
Kurt here from Abilene Termite and Pest Control. We can't control pests like that unemployed 25-year-old living in your basement, but the creepy crawly ones are our specialty. From Salina to Manhattan, Clay Center to Hillsboro, and everywhere in between. We've been locally owned and here for you since 1951, offering great service, a firm handshake, and no long-term contracts. Visit AbileneTermite.com or find us on Facebook. I'm Kurt Phillips, and we'll keep the bugs out for you.
Astra Bank knows the challenges you face as a business owner. That's why they're committed to providing the dependable financial solutions that will help your business thrive. Visit them in Abilene, Chapman, or online at astra.bank. Astra Bank, member FDIC.
Get ready for the 2025 Jeep Scavenger Hunt this Saturday at Marshall Motors in Salina. The day kicks off with a show and shine Jeep car show, 9 to 11 a.m. with cash prizes for People's Choice, Most Trail Ready, and Best of Show. Then hit the trails in the Scavenger Hunt for your chance at $500 cash and awards. Registration still accepted, just $75 per Jeep, and includes 2 barbecue tickets, a t-shirt, and more. Don't miss the 2025 Jeep Hunt this Saturday at Marshall Motors in Salina.
If you have something bugging you, call Abilene Termite and Pest Control, serving Abilene, Chapman, and the surrounding areas. And also, don't forget, your full-service grocery store in Dickinson County is West Plaza Country Mart, open 7 days a week and always supporting the Chapman Irish. Coverage of tonight's Battle of Dickinson County is presented by Kirsten Day, serving the areas of Chapman, Abilene, and more from Salina to Wamego. Contact Kirsten Day at selling785.com. Here's a great toss look to the outside, but we have another flag thrown by the White Hat. I would not be surprised if this ends up being a hold, and yeah, a quick signal. Chapman has 4 penalties on the day, and 3 of them have been holding on the offense. Speaking of Chapman, I want to throw a shout out to USD 473 Chapman Schools. Chapman has a tradition of high academic success, school-run business opportunities, and a culture of caring for students. They do what's best for all kids. USD 473 Chapman Schools. Scoreless tie as we get into the early portion of the second quarter. 11:52 on the clock, zeros on the scoreboard. And as I mentioned before, these are 2 teams that last week were tied 0-0 in their respective games going into halftime. For Chapman, that was against a Smith Center team that they beat the year prior. For Abilene, it was a Clay Center team that got them now in each of the last 2 years. And off to the outside, that's Becker, breaks a tackle. He has plenty of room to run and will twist and turn his way ahead for another gain of about 10. But because of the penalty, it's still going to be 3rd down despite Becker's best efforts. And they will have to get back to work here, will the offense. We still have not seen a passing attempt out of Andrew Scott. Again, last week he was just 1 for 1. Adiel Becker actually had more pass attempts than Scott did. Becker was 0 for 2 passing. No touchdowns, no interceptions for the Irish passing attack. 3 passing attempts total through their first game of the season. Andrew Scott will go under center. This is a toss play, looking to cut back to the interior. A little counter action on the toss, and it's good enough for the first down. Big gain of 8 for the Irish, and there is Adiel Becker again. They went to him for 10 on 2nd down. They go to him for 10 more on 3rd, and it's 1st and 10 for Chapman, who are on the march. Tell you what, you take the penalties off the table here, Chapman's probably up 7-0 right now. Actually, quite literally, they are up 7-0 if you take the penalty out, as they lost the touchdown from Adiel Becker earlier. And for the first time tonight, we might see a team cross midfield, although that's going to be a false start against the Irish. And, well, there you go. That'll back them up 5 yards and make that challenge a little bit tougher. Don't forget, Smoky Valley Ag Services is an independent ag retailer and pioneer sales rep committed to delivering trusted advice, high-yield potential products, the right crop protection technology, and agronomic insights that you can use to achieve the goals for your growing operation. Got plenty of good stuff coming up at halftime. We'll take a look around at some other scores and happenings on our Bennington State Bank scoreboard. And don't forget, there are 2 other broadcasts that you can tune into here on our Salina Post Sports Network. Southeast of Saline taking on that Clay Center team I mentioned a moment ago. Here it's a quarterback keeper up the gut. Big hit. Good to hang on to the football there. And Abilene signaling, yeah, wow, they did get it. That ball came out so smoothly, I didn't even notice that Abilene picked it up because it was barely ever on the ground. How about that? That is a fumble. So each quarterback with a fumble now in this game. And Abilene is going to take over in plus territory with a great chance to make something of this. Normally when the ball gets fumbled, it pops loose and then there's a scrum for it. But for Abilene, they just picked it up and ran. I mean, they had it so cleanly. Handoff, Hookman, right side, looking for room. And for the first time tonight, Hookman is ahead for a gain, as he will get 5 yards on first down. So the Scott fumble. Still trying to see who recovered that. I believe it was Aiden Woods. And Abilene immediately comes out, and they are on the attack, looking for the game's first score. We are scoreless. 9:17 left to go in the second quarter. Funston hands it off left side. There's a lot of room, and there's a lot of room to the edge. It's a stiff arm up to the 25-yard line. Lane Hookman is starting to sort this out. And for Lane, that is a big game. They'll call that about 18. Hookman's first 5 carries, -4, -2, 0, -1, and -4. Since then, how about 8 and 18? Good stuff for Hookman. Sub is made here for Chapman on that defensive line. It's been Hookman on the first 2 plays of this drive. He will line up behind Funston in the pistol. They will give it to him again. He's looking to cut this back. I don't think that was a designed counter. I think Lane just realized that he had a lane to the inside and took it that way. So now it'll be 2nd and 5. Abilene really hasn't needed to go to the air much today. Last week, Funston was 11 for 20 for 179 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. So far tonight, they've only thrown the ball twice, at least on plays that counted and weren't taken back due to a penalty. Hookman tucked in directly behind. Well, we'll see who this is against. Pierce Castile, the senior, having a little fun there, because if you get pushed and don't move and just kind of fall over, sometimes it might make your move look like encroachment, but we'll have to see if that is the call or if this is going the other way and going to back Abilene up on what would be their 5th penalty of the night. Long discussion right now by our referee. Let's see the call. And there you go. It is, in fact, encroachment. They will call that on the Irish. Their 6th penalty in the early goings of this game. 8:11 left to go, and you wonder if this is where Abilene gets on the board finally. Cowboys keep it with this double tight look. 2 receivers split out wide. Nolan Wilkins to the left. Levi Evans to the right. He is looking that way. Boy, grabbed. He'll throw up a duck. It is picked. Is there a flag? No. Interception for the Chapman Irish, who will take over on their own goal line. But they can worry about that later. and it's Adiel Becker, who already had the fumble recovery, and now he's got an interception to add to that. And Funston, I mean, he had already been grabbed. He tried to throw it as his shoulder was being pulled. And that is not a winning formula. So tough break there. Chapman takes over at the 1. They got to be cautious here, though, as they do not have much room to work with. They want to take it straight up the middle. That'll at least give them a little bit of breathing room as Scott keeps it and picks up 2 on first down. First incompletion of the day for Tegan Funston is technically completed, just to the wrong team. If the Irish are going to march down and score, I mean, 7:21 left to go, but the way they play, they could take the rest of this quarter, potentially. Becker is the deep back on this 2nd down and 7 play. And now, it looks like Chapman will burn a timeout. Nope, Abilene wants to, well, I believe Chapman took the timeout. Either way, we'll step away and take it with him. And we are back in just a bit. It's the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week, presented tonight by Smart Insurance.
For 40 years, Phillips Seed has delivered top-quality certified seeds. With wheat drilling season approaching, now's the time to reach out to Phillips Seed Farms for the latest variety options and tailored seed treatments. It's also the perfect opportunity to plant your corn hybrids and soybean varieties for the 2025 planting season. Visit PhillipsSeed.com, follow us on Facebook and X, or connect with a local seed dealer near you. Phillips Seed, serving, innovating, growing since 1985.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
Scoreless with about 7:15 to go. Chapman backed up on their own goal line coverage of the Battle of Dickinson County, presented by Smart Insurance. Here's a handoff. Boy, that goes to the outside. A solid gain for Kaysen DeWeese, who is going to rumble ahead for a gain of, let's call it, 9. The rush game has been there for Chapman. They have consistently been able to run it to the outside. It's when they've tried to go up the gut that they have not found a whole lot. It's only the 2nd rushing attempt of the night for DeWeese. See what they go with here on 1st down and 10. Clock is a factor for an offense that moves as methodically as what Chapman does. This is a late handoff. Breaking a tackle is Becker, keeping his feet in bounds up to about the 22. Boy, I have no idea how he slipped the tackle there. Becker has looked really good in this game, and there he'll pick up a gain of 6 on his 7th carry of the day. Want to remind you, coverage of today's game brought to you in part by DK Sports and Fitness. Exercise and fitness classes for all ages, featuring boot camp fitness sessions at 5, 6, and 7 a.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 2nd down and 3. Here for the Chapman Irish. At times, they've looked clean, smooth, and methodical, but a fumble and several penalties have killed drives for this team. Here's a give off the left side, taken by DeWeese, and he will have enough for the 1st down and a little more as he picks up 4. And the Irish with a fresh set of downs to work with here. Davin Kuba in on the tackle there. Chapman on the march, keeping an eye on the clock. 6:12 left to go as they've taken a minute here to get off their own goal line. Scott under center. Quick give, another fumble, and that is recovered by the Cowboys. Abilene is on it. They will continue to battle but the Cowboys take it over, and it's Caden Thrower who comes up with the fumble recovery. Abilene will have a chance now to score last, or rather score first here in the first half. Fumbles very costly. That time it was DeWeese, I believe, on the right side. So the last two drives both end in fumbles. Actually, the last three drives have all ended in turnovers. Funston rolling out to his right, wants to keep it, and we've got a late flag. It's kind of trending to be one of those games that I think both teams would like to forget. And we're not even to the second half yet. We'll run through the drives in just a moment. But this has been tough. And we've got a hold against Abilene. That'll be their fifth penalty of the day, and it wipes out an otherwise solid run for the Abilene offense. So to just give you the drives we've had today, 3 and out, fumble, turnover on downs, punt, fumble, interception, fumble. Defenses have looked good, but the offenses have certainly given them some help, as showcased by another first down and 20 here for Abilene. Funston takes the snap, no drop, fires to his tight end. That'll be good for, a gain of about 10. And then how about Heath Hookman throwing the little forearm shiver, said, get off me. Normally, that's going to be enough for a first down, but this time a 12-yard gain puts him at 2nd and 8. Nonetheless, Funston starts his day off 3 for 4. Unfortunately, the one incompletion was intercepted near the end zone. For Chapman, it would have been better if it was intercepted in the end zone. They had to start the drive at the 1. All the while, the clock has not stopped running. We've got 5:40 to go before halftime and still no score on the board. Shotgun snap, fake of the handoff on play action, and we've got a flag. Funston gets out of it. I don't know how. Fires it off. He's got Evans. Levi Evans is going to get to the 15, but we will check the flag on the field. I have no idea how Tegan Funston avoids a sack there. But we've got, a face mask on Chapman. And the 7th Irish penalty is going to add on to what was already about a 10-yard gain for Levi Evans. Good heads-up play there by Evans. He just came back to the football. So we'll see if they add this to the end of the run. And they will. That stops the clock with 5:30 left to go for the second time tonight. Chapman backed up on their heels. Abilene deep inside the red zone. Cowboys turned it over the last time they were deep in Chapman territory. Hookman lined up behind Funston. They will hand it off to him, and he is going nowhere. Adiel Becker, another tackle for loss. And it's 2nd down and goal now from, they're going to say the 12-yard line. I want to say a special thank you to a few additional sponsors, including AJ Honey Farm, Sage Products, Lily Pad Septic, and Commercial Tire Center. Also, Smart Insurance, Vernon Jewelers, Salina Regional Health Career Centers, and Higher Scott Mortuary. 2nd and goal from the 12. Low snap, Funston, keeper, up the middle, slips a tackle, stays on his feet, takes the contact, and he is into the end zone. Tegan Funston only has 3 carries in this game. They're all for double digits, and that one will put Abilene on the board with under 5 minutes to go in the first. Finally, somebody scores here in the Battle of Dickinson County, and now Brandon Sims is on for the PAT try. Three parts of the operation here. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is wide right. So nothing doing there. We'll step away. We're back with the remainder of the first half when we return on the Salina Post Sports Network.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Hey Salina, come see us at the Kelly Kitchener Agency near the intersection of Cloud and Ohio. We want to be your Salina, Kansas insurance agent.
New Image Audio is offering ceramic tint. If you're sending your child off to school or your wife on a road trip, ceramic tint offers heat rejection up to 90%, privacy in a college town or in the city, helps keep the wear down on the AC system, making your car easier to cool down. Never worry about your kid locking their keys in their car. With Drone Mobile, you can unlock their car from anywhere. Vehicle breakdown in an unknown area, GPS locating helps roadside service find your loved one quickly with the ability to send the vehicle location directly to the rescue squad. New Image Audio, located at 340 South Broadway. Phone calls welcome.
Back here for more of the Battle of Dickinson County, presented by Smart Insurance, also presented in part by Kirsten Day at selling785.com. Abilene scores first. They do not get the PAT, but a really solid 12-yard scramble for Tegan Funston gets the Cowboys on the board, and Chapman will have 4:44 to respond. Adiel Becker is back deep to return, as is Brecken Francis. Francis will field this at about the 15. He is looking for room. He will find none. And, wow, we got another flag and a lot of late pushing and shoving between these two. So we'll see which way we're going here as these two teams get together after yet another rivalry penalty. And that's another thing. If either team can cut down on the flags in the second half, that could go a long way. 7 on Chapman, 6 on Abilene. And this one is going to go against the Irish. And that's targeting as the call. I don't know that you don't typically see a targeting call on a non-ball carrier. But that's an immediate 15 yards from the spot. And they're going to put this all the way back. Trying to see where they mark it down as, now they will add the penalty yardage and they'll put it down at the 15-yard line. You wonder when that first passing attempt is going to come for Chapman. I can't imagine that they would go to the locker room without a passing attempt. But you never know. Andrew Scott is under center. The last 2 Chapman drives have ended in fumbles. They will give this to the up man, and we have got another flag. If anyone wants to be the sponsor of penalties, as we've got a chop block against Chapman, if anybody wants to be the official penalty sponsor for the game of the week moving forward, I'll tell you what, for the first 2 weeks, you'd be getting your money's worth. I'll leave my email at the end of this game. It's another costly penalty against the Irish, who have shown good signs of life when it comes to moving forward, but they have been their own worst enemy in this game. Now up to 9 penalties against the Irish in this game alone. Insult to injury, 1st and 18, as that is a half the distance to the goal situation here. See if they keep it on the ground. Abilene expecting them to run it again here, and they will try the toss to the outside, and this time there is nothing. They tried to get Becker into the open space, and he lost a yard for his trouble. 4 minutes remaining. Abilene burned their timeouts very early in this half. So the Cowboys, I believe, only have one left. That could be a factor if they try to get one more score on the board before the break. Also remember that Chapman deferred to the second half. So the Irish will get the football to start quarter number 3. Here's another quarterback keeper. It's going the wrong way again with forward progress. They'll stop him at the 5. So no gain for, I believe, Scott. Now it's third down. And we've got a timeout called, so we'll take it with them. We're back with more of our Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week after this.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
From raw honey to wax melts to beekeeping tools, boxes, and frames, AJ Honey Farms has it all and more. Be sure to check out their salves. Salves is a powerful blend of nature's best ingredients. Beeswax, crafted with care to soothe and nourish your dry skin, minor cuts, and burns. And for dry lips, try out their Happy Bee Balm. Treat yourself to their locally produced honey items or get a beautifully packaged gift set for a loved one. Stop in to see AJ Honey Farms at 901 North 9th Street. More than just a honey store.
Back here for the Battle of Dickinson County, coverage today is presented by Smart Insurance with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Chapman backed up deep in their own territory. It is third down and 20, and they will keep it on a read option to the outside, but quickly running out of room is Adiel Becker, who picked up maybe a yard, and now it is fourth down. And he goes out of bounds, so that'll stop the clock with 3:24 remaining. And I know you're not really cognizant of the clock all the time, but boy, especially in a situation like that, you got to think. Priority number one there should have been staying in bounds and trying to melt a little bit more or forcing Abilene to burn a timeout. And speaking of which, we've got a timeout called here by Chapman. So before they kick this away, we will step away for one more break here in the first half.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the Heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
No matter what team you support this season, Copyco has you covered with off-the-rack and custom apparel for Salina South, Salina Central, Abilene, Chapman, Sacred Heart, southeast of Saline, Ellsworth, Minneapolis, Bennington, Solomon, and El Saline. Don't see what you're looking for in store? They can custom make items so you can support any local team or student athlete. For T-shirts and hats to hoodies and so much more, your home for local high school sports gear is Copyco, located at 2346 Planet Avenue in Salina.
Fourth down, Chapman has to punt this away. They will get it off. Tegan Funston will field it at the 43. He is looking to make some magic here with his legs, but a good open field tackle is recorded there by the Irish as they get home and shut it down. So here comes the Abilene offense. 3:14 left to go. They've got one timeout left in their pocket. And we'll see if they can find a way to get another score on the board before the halftime intermission. This game has not been score heavy. But for the second time in as many drives, Abilene takes over already in Chapman territory. Let's see what they've got. Tegan Funston from the pistol, takes a waist-high snap, immediately under duress, steps up, wants to run, breaks it down to the outside. He had 4 green jerseys around him. Now he spins back to the inside, cuts it up the middle. It's going to be a lot of running to get 8 yards, but that right there, at least for now, is our smart play of the game presented by Smart Insurance. I have no idea how that wasn't a loss. Funston on the ground has been the best source of offense that Abilene has had tonight. And that is a very loud 6-yard gain with 2:45 remaining in the first half. Cowboys back to work here. Funston hands it off on the outside. That's Lane Hookman, who takes on a defender and will find 2. Lane Hookman tonight, 10 carries. Only 2 have gone for 5 or more. Chapman's defense deserves to be commended, and they've spent a lot of time on the field tonight. That's been a factor so far as well, and you wonder, with so many guys playing 2 ways, if exhaustion starts to play a role in the second half. Funston to the air, vertical routes for 3 receivers, still directing traffic, now tucks it and runs, and he'll get to the 20-yard line. So it's a big gain there for Funston, who picks up 10. And this is kind of what I was talking about with Funston. His runs tonight, 21, 8, 12 and a touchdown, 8 and 10. So he's been keeping him moving. Stepping out of bounds there will stop the clock with 1:46 remaining in the half. And is Funston being... Oh, Funston is down. We have got an injury timeout on the field as Tegan Funston is crumpled up in a heap, and that is the last thing that anybody here, regardless of who you support, wants to see. We'll step away back after this.
4 walls and a roof can make a house, but a home, that's where life happens. First steps, backyard birthdays, morning coffee, sunsets on the porch. Home isn't something you buy, it's something you feel. And when it's right, you just know. For 22 years, Dan Goebel has helped people in Salina find that feeling. And now, he's here to help you. Your home is out there. Dan Goebel knows the way. Call 785-819-1904 or visit Salina Homes to find your way home.
Obituaries and funeral announcements are available free of charge on SalinaPost.com. This community service is provided in part by Higher Scott Mortuary and Cremations, formerly Roselawn. Higher Scott Mortuary and Cremations, celebrating life, embracing legacy.
Back here in the Battle of Dickinson County, presented tonight by Kirsten Day at selling785.com. So an emergency situation with 1:45 remaining. Tegan Funston is knocked out of the game, and I'm trying to confirm that we have who I think we have, and we don't. How about this? Levi Evans has stepped in at quarterback. Jonathan Robinson is listed as the QB2 on the depth chart. They're going to hand this off to Hookman, who goes up the middle and gets his way ahead to the 10-yard line. Well, it won't stop the running game at least. And we'll see if this is a true quarterback situation. I don't remember any QB snaps taken a season ago by Levi Evans. And who just came back onto the field, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's Funston. So goes down, gets up, walks off gingerly. They looked at him quickly. Tegan Funston is right back on the field trying to get his team into the end zone. They will hand it off, taking on the contact up to the 5. It's another solid run up the left side for Hookman. And the 5-yard gain will turn it into 2nd and 5 as we enter the final 60 seconds of this first half. Abilene got their first touchdown on their last drive. It was a Tegan Funston rush to get them on the board. Here, it's Funston looking to the air, steps up, scrambles again. He goes right, has one man to beat, cuts inside, dives for the goal line, and he will be short. It's a gain of about 4. 30 seconds remaining. Abilene does not have any timeouts remaining. They got to be cognizant of the time. 20 seconds to go. Handoff, Hookman. He's ahead and into the end zone. It's an Abilene touchdown as Lane Hookman finds pay dirt from 2 yards away, and the Cowboys take a 2-score lead. Good work by Abilene, and it's going to put them up with not really enough time for Chapman to do anything. They'll have time for a return, and then maybe, if they're lucky, one offensive play. And then that will send us to halftime. Brandon Sims missed the PAT the first time around. This one looked a lot better, and that one is true. Cowboys take a 13-0 lead. Back with more in just a minute. Coverage of the Battle of Dickinson County is presented by Smart Insurance.
Sage is your go-to source for industrial strength cleaning products, ice melt, floor equipment, paper, asphalt, and just about everything in between. Whether you're a maintenance supervisor, a small business, or just wanting your home to look amazing, stop by 732 North 9th Street in Salina, where we will be happy to assist you. You can also visit us at sageselects.com or call us at 309-1919. Sage Products, the right call every time.
Ready to take your nursing career to the next level? Memorial Health System in Abilene is hiring full-time registered nurses for their hospital emergency department, and they've got the perks to match. Sign-on bonuses, shift and weekend differentials, a child care stipend, and tuition reimbursement to keep you moving forward. Bring your skills where they'll make the biggest impact, right here in Abilene. Apply today at srhc.com. That's srhc.com to apply for this opening at Memorial Health System in Abilene, taking care of you so you can take care of others.
Our Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week gets presented today by Smart Insurance with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. And with the Cowboys off to a good start. Slow start for both teams. Turnovers became a big problem for both teams in the second quarter, but the Cowboys have capitalized, and they will kick it off. It's a little squibber, and Chapman fighting over who should take it. And that could cost them as they'll put the offense on the field. Isaac Van Meter ends up covering it up at the 25-yard line. And with 14 and a half seconds left to go, Chapman will see if they want to play it safe and keep it on the ground or maybe even take a knee, or if they want to go for something here. They have not attempted a pass in this game. Now they find themselves down by 2 scores. Got to get something going here. Want to shout out a few of our sponsors of today's game, including Dan Goebel at Salina Homes, Messenger Total Promotions, and Kelly Kitchener at Shelter Insurance. And it looks like, victory formation. Chapman going to keep it conservative here. They will take a knee, and they will head into the halftime locker room down 13-0. Chapman gets the football to start quarter number 3. We'll step away when we come back. It's the halftime report here on the Salina Post Sports Network. Coverage of the Dickinson County Showdown is presented in part by Kirsten Day at selling785.com and, of course, by Smart Insurance, locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington.
Lily Pad Septic, this is Callie, where we can get you a flush and a rush. How can we help you flush today?
Oh, it smells like something died out by my septic tank. It's bad.
Oh no, I know that smell you're talking about. Cole!
I smelt it from here.
Flush! The freakishly fast frog!
I'll follow the funk. It's not a dead animal, sir. It's your septic tank venting gases. Oof. She's full, real full.
That's the smell.
I've got to get back and tell Callie. Callie, he needs a pump out, quick.
Already got a pump truck rolling.
If you need a flush and a rush, call Lily Pad Septic.
We guarantee to inspect your septic issues within 24 hours.
Or you get a free septic tank pump out worth $399.
Lily Pad Septic.
We'll be there in a splash.
Callie, quick, kiss me. That stink stuck to my skin.
I don't know if I can.
Oh, good. I can smell other things again.
Astra Bank is committed to providing the dependable financial solutions that will help you fulfill your dream, whether it's building your wealth or owning a home. Visit them in Abilene, Chapman, or online at astra.bank. Astra Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When Vernon Jewelers has 40% off store-wide, there must be a special occasion. Through September, Vernon Jewelers is celebrating 133 years in business with 40% off store-wide. Savings include high-quality, unique pieces that will not only be cherished, but create a lifetime of memories. Save 40% during the 133rd anniversary sale at Vernon Jewelers, 123 North Santa Fe in downtown Salina, where it's the little things that matter since 1884. 40% off September only excludes loose diamonds, repairs, and special orders.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Hey Salina, come see us at the Kelly Kitchener Agency near the intersection of Cloud and Ohio. We want to be your Salina, Kansas insurance agent.
New Image Audio is offering ceramic tint. If you're sending your child off to school or your wife on a road trip, ceramic tint offers heat rejection up to 90%, privacy in a college town or in the city, helps keep the wear down on the AC system, making your car easier to cool down. Never worry about your kid locking their keys in their car. With Drone Mobile, you can unlock their car from anywhere. Vehicle breakdown in an unknown area, GPS locating helps roadside service find your loved one quickly with the ability to send the vehicle location directly to the rescue squad. New Image Audio located at 340 South Broadway. Phone calls welcome.
No matter what team you support this season, CopyCo has you covered with off-the-rack and custom apparel for Salina South, Salina Central, Abilene, Chapman, Sacred Heart, southeast of Saline, Ellsworth, Minneapolis, Bennington, Solomon, and El Saline. Don't see what you're looking for in store? They can custom make items so you can support any local team or student athlete. From t-shirts and hats to hoodies and so much more, your home for local high school sports gear is CopyCo, located at 2346 Planet Avenue in Salina.
4 walls and a roof can make a house, but a home, that's where life happens. First steps, backyard birthdays, morning coffee, sunsets on the porch. Home isn't something you buy, it's something you feel. And when it's right, you just know. For 22 years, Dan Goebel has helped people in Salina find that feeling. And now, he's here to help you. Your home is out there. Dan Goebel knows the way. Call 785-819-1904 or visit Salina Homes to find your way home.
From raw honey to wax melts to beekeeping tools, boxes, and frames, AJ Honey Farms has it all and more. Be sure to check out their salves. Salves is a powerful blend of nature's best ingredients. Beeswax, crafted with care to soothe and nourish your dry skin, minor cuts, and burns. And for dry lips, try out their Happy Bee Balm. Treat yourself to their locally produced honey items or get a beautifully packaged gift set for a loved one. Stop in to see AJ Honey Farms at 901 North 9th Street. More than just a honey store. Ready to take your nursing career to the next level? Memorial Health System in Abilene is hiring full-time registered nurses for their hospital emergency department, and they've got the perks to match. Sign-on bonuses, shift and weekend differentials, a child care stipend, and tuition reimbursement to keep you moving forward. Bring your skills where they'll make the biggest impact, right here in Abilene. Apply today at srhc.com. That's srhc.com to apply for this opening at Memorial Health System in Abilene, taking care of you so you can take care of others.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
Close your eyes. Now, imagine yourself cheering from the bleachers at Salina South. Feel the pride of donning the colors of Salina Central. Picture the spirit of being part of the Sacred Heart community, or the camaraderie at Southeast of Saline. Envision the thrill of supporting El Saline or Bennington. Visualize the unity in rallying for Minneapolis High. Now, open your eyes and see yourself in team apparel from Messenger Total Promotions. Visit them in person in downtown Salina. Obituaries and funeral announcements are available free of charge on salinapost.com. This community service is provided in part by Hire Scott Mortuary and Cremations, formerly Roselawn. Hire Scott Mortuary and Cremations, celebrating life, embracing legacy.
Sage is your go-to source for industrial strength cleaning products, ice melt, floor equipment, paper, asphalt, and just about everything in between. Whether you're a maintenance supervisor, a small business, or just wanting your home to look amazing, stop by 732 North 9th Street in Salina, where we will be happy to assist you. You can also visit us at sageselects.com or call us at 309-1919. Sage Products, the right call every time.
Lily Pad Septic, this is Callie, where we can get you a flush in a rush. How can we help you flush today?
Oh, it smells like something died out by my septic tank. It's bad.
Oh no, I know that smell you're talking about. Cole!
I smelt it from here.
Flush! The freakishly fast frog!
I'll follow the funk. It's not a dead animal, sir. It's your septic tank venting gases. Oof. She's full, real full.
That's the smell.
I've got to get back and tell Callie. Callie, he needs a pump out, quick.
Already got a pump truck rolling.
If you need a flush in a rush, call Lily Pad Septic.
We guarantee to inspect your septic issues within 24 hours.
Or you get a free septic tank pump out worth $399.
Lily Pad Septic!
We'll be there in a splash.
Callie, quick, kiss me. That stink stuck to my skin.
I don't know if I can.
Oh, good. I can smell other things again.
When Vernon Jewelers has 40% off store-wide, there must be a special occasion. Through September, Vernon Jewelers is celebrating 133 years in business with 40% off store-wide. Savings include high-quality, unique pieces that will not only be cherished, but create a lifetime of memories. Save 40% during the 133rd anniversary sale at Vernon Jewelers, 123 North Santa Fe in downtown Salina, where it's the little things that matter since 1884. 40% off September only excludes loose diamonds, repairs, and special orders.
And now back to more football action with your game of the week, presented by Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
Halftime from Chapman and a 13-0 lead for the Abilene Cowboys. That gives us a chance to check our Bennington State Bank scoreboard. But before we do, coverage of the Dickinson County Showdown is presented by Smart Insurance with locations in Abilene, Salina, and Harrington. Elsewhere, we've got Salina Central up big. They lead 35-0 over Arc City at the half. How about this? Salina South is putting up a fight. Maize South leads, but only 21-14. That was a blowout win for Maize South a season ago. One game that is not close. Plainville is up 45-0 on Sacred Heart. That game is at halftime southeast of Salina. Pitching a shutout, the defending 2A state champions lead Clay Center 16-0 at the break. And a big bounce-back win, or big bounce-back game at least so far, for El Salina. The Cardinals up on Osborne 30-6. Last score we can report, Ellsworth leads Republic County 21-8. All of these are halftime scores. We'll see if we can't get you the last few, including Minneapolis taking on Lions tonight, and an 8-man game, or no, a 1A game between Bennington and Whitewater Remington. We will step away, but when we come back, it's the second half of action between Abilene and Chapman. The Cowboys lead at 13-0, and coverage of this game is brought to you by Kirsten Day at selling785.com.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
Are you looking to buy or sell real estate? With over 11 years of experience serving Northeast Kansas from Abilene to Wamego, leave it to a professional. Call Kirsten Day, realtor and owner with Homefront Real Estate Group. Buying a home, whether it be your first or second time, is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll make in a lifetime. Therefore, finding the right agent to help you make the process easier is essential. Kirsten Day is there for you and your family every step of the way. Visit Kirsten Day online at selling785.com.
Kurt here from Abilene Termite and Pest Control. We can't control pests like that unemployed 25-year-old living in your basement, but the creepy crawly ones are our specialty. From Salina to Manhattan, Clay Center to Hillsboro, and everywhere in between. We've been locally owned and here for you since 1951, offering great service, a firm handshake, and no long-term contracts. Visit AbileneTermite.com or find us on Facebook. I'm Kurt Phillips, and we'll keep the bugs out for you.
Astra Bank knows the challenges you face as a business owner. That's why they're committed to providing the dependable financial solutions that will help your business thrive. Visit them in Abilene, Chapman, or online at astra.bank. Astra Bank, member FDIC.
Get ready for the 2025 Jeep Scavenger Hunt this Saturday at Marshall Motors in Salina. The day kicks off with a Show and Shine Jeep Car Show, 9 to 11 a.m. with cash prizes for People's Choice, Most Trail Ready, and Best of Show. Then hit the trails in the Scavenger Hunt for your chance at $500 cash and awards. Registration still accepted, just $75 per Jeep, and includes 2 barbecue tickets, a t-shirt, and more. Don't miss the 2025 Jeep Hunt this Saturday at Marshall Motors in Salina.
For 40 years, Phillips Seed has delivered top-quality certified seeds. With wheat drilling season approaching, now's the time to reach out to Phillips Seed Farms for the latest variety options and tailored seed treatments. It's also the perfect opportunity to plan your corn hybrids and soybean varieties for the 2025 planting season. Visit PhillipsSeed.com, follow us on Facebook and X, or connect with a local seed dealer near you. Phillips Seed, serving, innovating, growing since 1985.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
At the half of the Dickinson County Showdown presented by Smart Insurance, we've got a 13-0 game. Let's tell you how we got here. Offense was not in big supply early in this game. Both teams traded 3 and outs, and then Abilene drove deep into Chapman territory, but a fumble by Tegan Funston was recovered by Adiel Becker. That led to a Chapman drive that would result in a turnover on downs. Abilene then punted back, and we headed to the second quarter, still scoreless here from Chapman. But in the second quarter, we had all sorts of craziness. First, a fumble by Scott of Chapman recovered by Abilene turned into a drive that led to an interception thrown by Tegan Funston, which Chapman then gave right back with their second fumble in as many drives. And finally, the Cowboys were able to capitalize when Funston took it 12 yards to the house himself. Chapman got the ball back. They punted it away. Tegan Funston briefly got knocked out of the game, but then came back in, handed it off to Lane Hookman, who took it the remaining 2 yards for the second score of the contest to give us our halftime score of 13-0. In the second half, we'll get your new image audio keys to the second half. And, I mean, we'll see what things change. I feel like for both teams, though, the keys are the same, right? You cut down on the turnovers, you cut down on the penalties, and you play some football. And that really has been the big issue here early on. Free possessions given up, wasted opportunities, and there have been so many 1st and 15, 1st and 20, 2nd and 25, putting yourself behind the sticks. If either of these two teams can cut that out in the second half, you like their chances of walking out of here with a victory. We will step away one more time. When we come back, we'll get the second half underway here on the Salina Post Sports Network. It's our Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week. It's presented today by Smart Insurance with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. Car, truck, SUV, trailers, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Hey Salina, come see us at the Kelly Kitchener Agency near the intersection of Cloud and Ohio. We want to be your Salina, Kansas insurance agent.
2 quarters in the books, 1 half left to go as we get ready to kick this thing off. And as a reminder, Chapman won the coin toss. They deferred to the second half, so they will get a chance to drive it down and punch it in and score first. And here's the thing, for all the faults of Chapman here tonight, you score once, you're only down by 1 possession, and thanks to that missed PAT earlier, which, by the way, I got a note on that here in just a moment, but if you score 2 touchdowns and kick 2 through the uprights, you take the lead here if you're Chapman. But it's going to take a much cleaner half than what we saw in the first, as the Irish had 9 penalties. The Cowboys had 5. All of them, all 14 for both teams combined, were costly. So to the second half we go. We'll see what adjustments both teams have made here, as the Irish have a chance to return. And I mentioned that, you know, you look back to the missed PAT, it was a bad-looking kick for Brandon Sims. It was barely long enough to get it to where it would have needed to go. It was well to the right, but take a look at Sims out here in warm-ups, and he is knocking him through from 30 yards. So he's got range. It's just a matter of getting him a good setup. And with that, we are just about ready to get this underway. And it will be Sims who kicks off to the combination of Brecken Francis and Adiel Becker, who are back deep to return here for the Chapman Irish. Battle of Dickinson County brought to you in part by Kirsten Day at selling785.com. And, well, second half begins as the first half ended with a penalty. And it's looking like offsides, on the kicking team. So the first penalty of the half comes before either team puts the offense on the field, and they will retry the kick from about 5 yards back. Don't discount a big special teams play here. And a quick correction, Kason DeWeese is now back deep to return in place of Adiel Becker. So it's DeWeese at the top of your screen. It's Francis at the bottom of your screen. And on a night where the offense has maybe not looked as crisp as they would like, this could very well be the best chance for Chapman to get themselves on the board. If nothing else, set themselves up in good field position. So we'll try this again from the 35. And that big boot is really going to be tested here for Abilene as they need to avoid giving up a good return here at all costs. It's a short kick. It's going to be fielded by the up man already at the 20-yard line up to about the 26. No, call it the 36. And that is where the drive will begin here for the Abilene or for the Chapman offense. Chapman got to sort things out. Holds have been an issue. Fumbles have been an issue. We had a stretch of this game where a turnover was the result of 4 out of 6 drives. That cannot happen for either team. Chapman is a run-heavy ball control offense. They have not attempted a pass yet in this game. They've got 3 backs lined up behind the quarterback. They will give this to the most upright of those guys as a little 3-yard gain on first down for Case and DeWeese. By the way, I was curious when I saw he was not on the return team. Adiel Becker is out there. He looks none the worse for wear. So they should be all good there as they get back to work here on 2nd down and 7. Andrew Scott under center, keeps it, runs it outside, takes a shot. Gets ahead to about the 44, maybe even the 45. And it's another gain of 3 on the ground, and this is what Chapman wants to do. They want to grind it out. They want to pick up 3-4 yards on every play and keep that offense out there and on the field. The thing that has prevented them from doing that so far tonight, for the most part, has been those aforementioned penalties. Becker is the deepest back in the backfield of the 3 here. And he will be the intended rusher, and he is going, well, he bounces it to the outside. I have no idea. Adiel Becker slips the tackle, and now he will break another. He is still going, finally pushed out of bounds, but not until he gets down to the 5-yard line. It's a Houdini act for Adiel Becker, who looked like he was tackled deep in the backfield. And it's a gain of 50 on 2nd down. 55, correction. Huge work for Adiel Becker. So they pick it up, and this is their best chance to get into the end zone as they have 1st down and goal here from the 5. Becker again is the deepest back, as this time they will go to the front man. He will turn inside. Touchdown, Chapman. The Irish get on the board courtesy of a 5-yard rushing touchdown for Brecken Francis. And on his 2nd carry of the game, Chapman's got new life, and so does this crowd. Boy, you love to see it here at home for the Irish, who have made this a 1-score game. And, wow, they're going to keep the offense on the field and go for 2. 2 PATs puts them through. Don't know how much confidence they have in their kicker. Here is the play. They'll run it through the passing game, and it is hauled in. 2-point conversion is converted as they link it up to the tight end on the outside. And it's a 13-8 ball game. Colton Bell on the catch. And how about 1-for-1 through the air for Andrew Scott? There is a flag down. And is that going to wipe this out? Oh, my goodness, it is. Well, all that, take it away. Think about this. Chapman's committed 10 penalties in this game. It has cost them 8 points. They lost a touchdown for Adiel Becker earlier. That drive then ended with a fumble. Here they lose the 2-point conversion, and they're going to have to go for 2 after the chop block from the 18. And this has to be a pass. Well, I say that. They will give it to Becker, and he goes nowhere. And we have another flag. Well, I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised. Given the way this game has gone, it has been a flag fest here in Chapman. Abilene crowd likes it. Great crowd on hand here for both teams. Plenty of support. As again, not much traveling that needs to be done when these two get together. Who's this on? Another chop block, although this one, wow, this one's against Abilene, and we're going the other way. So the two teams exchanging penalties. And this will make it a 2-point try for the 3rd time in a row. They're going to do this from the 8-yard line. And I believe we have a timeout. Well, before we step away, I want to thank a few of the people that have helped us bring you coverage of this matchup between Abilene and Chapman, including M&M Tire and Auto in Abilene, Memorial Health System, caring for you, First Bank Kansas, located on North Buckeye in Abilene, and Abilene Car Sales. Visit them online at AbileneCarsales.com. They called a personal foul on Abilene, but because it was on an unsuccessful 2-point try, that yardage is added, I believe, to the end of the kickoff? Question mark? It's not how they do it in college. And, I mean, both teams are now huddled up closer to midfield, and the officials got the football at the 45. See where these teams come out as they break the huddle. Chapman is headed, yes, to kick this off. So it is 13-6. It's a 5-yard touchdown run for Brecken Francis. But no 2-point conversion, and it remains a 7-point game. Yeah, Chapman decided to just take the yardage on the kickoff here. Either way, we got a 1-score ball game on our hands here in Chapman. While we got a quick break in the action, want to remind you to come shop at AC Westside Market in Abilene, on the west side of Abilene, and also grab a bite at Susie's Deli, located at 102 North Buckeye in Abilene, open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So Chapman will kick this off from the 45. It is fielded back at about the 5-yard line, and yeah, there's nothing there. Up to the 15 and no further on the returner. That was Davin Kuba, who can't find much. And now the question is Tegan Funston coming out here at quarterback? Funston went down with an apparent injury, left the game. He came back in. He played just 1 snap. It was a handoff that went for a touchdown, and then he headed into the locker room. And trying to take a look out there to confirm, I believe, yep, it is Funston at quarterback. 13-6 our score, 10:15 remaining here in the third quarter. It is a bunch trip set to the right, low snap, fake of the handoff. They want to screen on the far side. It's incomplete. No, it is complete. We got flags all over the place, though. If it stands, it's an 8-yard gain to Levi Evans, but that's a big if. And yeah, it's another false start. Third penalty against Abilene here in the second half already. They committed 5 in the first half. They've committed 3 in the first 2 minutes of this quarter. So it's 1st and 15. Want to throw another shout out here to Don's Tire and Supply in South Abilene for their help in bringing you today's game. Also, Last Chance Graphics in Abilene with personalized products for your home, office, or booster club. Abilene student section getting into it with the Chapman student section. 10 minutes to go. Toss to the outside here in the third quarter. And breaking through tackles. Solid gain of 4. Carrying the rock there for the 14th time in this game is Lane Hookman, who has been utilized to varying degrees of success tonight. A couple of big carries, a rushing touchdown, but for the most part, this Chapman defensive line has been able to bottle him up. And they have not allowed much in this contest. 9.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Screen on the outside, incomplete. Looking for Hookman. Nothing doing there. And Funston has just looked a little bit off here tonight, as he has not really thrown downfield much, and even on these screens, the timing with the receivers has just been off by enough to cause some problems. It's now 3rd down and 11. We have not had any huge explosive plays here in the half aside from the big run for Francis. Here, boy, that's a beautiful ball. That finds Levi Evans, and that'll be enough for the first down. As they say, move the chains. So Evans hauls it in for 11. 3 catches today for Levi Evans, 14, 10, and 11. And Funston starts his day 5-4-7. Cowboys on the march, 9 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Pistol set, Lane Hookman lined up directly behind the quarterback. They will give it to Hookman on the outside, looking for one more block. Now he's just got the safety left up beat, and he plows him over to get to the 45. That's a big gain of about 20 for Lane Hookman. Colton Bell finally able to come in and make the stop on the tackle. And that will give the Cowboys a lot more room to work with here as they are quickly approaching midfield. We talked about exhaustion for Chapman. The Irish have a lot of guys that play 2 ways. You wonder if that might pay dividends for the Cowboys in the second half. They've already looked a lot better on the ground, and here goes Hookman again for another 13-yard gain. And the energy that stopped Hookman dead in his tracks time and time again back in the first half is starting to wane a little bit here as the Cowboys are finding momentum offensively. You feel like if this keeps up, they might be one missed assignment away from breaking a big one. Levi Evans lines up in the slot left side. Funston takes the snap. He wants to find him here. Evans shakes, bakes, cuts to the outside after breaking the tackle. Stiff arms the defender. He's up to the 30. It's another gain of 10 for Levi Evans as the far side official says move the chains. And they will. Evans, good head on his shoulder. He has been the recipient of 4 of the 6 receptions today on the other end of passes from Tegan Funston. It's the best drive we've seen either team manufacture throughout the course of the day. It's 1st down and 10 for the Cowboys. They will hand it off. Hookman cuts it back to the inside, plows ahead. He's to the 21. And the Cowboys are getting about 10 yards of play on this drive as they just continue to push for more and more here. It's enough for another 1st down. It's a 10-yard gain on Hookman's 17th carry of the night. Levi Evans lines up in one-on-one coverage at the top of your screen. They will go on a quarterback keeper, and he might be gone. Funston ducks inside, dragging a tackler down to the 1, and just down at the goal line. Boy, that had the potential to be something even more. Adiel Becker, a touchdown-saving tackle. And a 15-yard gain for Tegan Funston will set him up with first down and goal from the goal line. A lot of good options for Abilene on this play. Lane Hookman lines up about a yard behind Tegan Funston. First and goal, bad snap. Funston picks it up, trying to make lemonade out of lemons. And all he'll do is get him back to the goal line for a loss of 0, which honestly, given the circumstances, not the worst outcome there for Abilene. Second and goal from the 1. Chapman came out, 2-play drive into the end zone. Abilene trying to take that momentum away. Funston takes the snap, rolls out, pump fakes, under duress. He's got 3 green jerseys around him, and he is sacked for a loss. Ian Sayers gets home. There were 3 guys around, and that is a costly sack, as now, instead of having it on the goal line, they're going to be backed up to the 8-yard line here. So it's third and goal from the 8. Remember, they had first and goal from the 1. And I'm a little surprised they didn't just try to run it there. Abilene might have gotten caught trying to be a little cute down in the red zone here. Work gets a little bit harder here on third and goal. Option play to the outside. It's on the deck, but it is picked up by Hookman, who is stopped. No gain for Elaine Hookman, and do the Cowboys risk it? No, it looks like they are going to play it safe and send Brandon Sims onto the field to try this field goal. This will be a 25-yard try from Sims. In warm-ups, we saw him hit from 30. I'm not sure how much further he can go, but this is at the very least within the range of what he practiced. They got 3 seconds to get this off. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. It's got the distance, and the kick is, well, we have the near side referee says good. The far side official says no good. And, I mean, one of them has to be right, but there's no review in high school football. The official that signaled good, it was kicked to the left side of the goalpost, and that's the official on that side, and there we go. Well, a difference of opinion sorted out by the white hat, and the field goal is good. So we'll step away briefly. Back with more on the other side on the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week, presented by Smart Insurance.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
Before we kick this off, I want to thank a few more folks who have helped us bring you coverage of today's game, including Hershey Real Estate, with 2 locations and 7 agents serving all of Northeast and North Central Kansas. Amanda West State Farm Agency in Abilene, supporting all area student athletes, and Robson Oil, keeping Dickinson County on the road and field on the farm. Of course, our presenting sponsor tonight, bringing you the big package, is Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. So a 25-yard field goal puts the Cowboys up 16-6 makes it a 2-possession game once again, and they will kick this thing off from the 40. Kick is deep, taken here by Adiel Becker at the 10-yard line. Big block there for Becker, who steps to the inside through a tackle and up to the 30. I'm not sure who that was, but somebody for Abilene got rocked on that return. It was a clean hit. And here comes the Chapman offense. Well, on the last drive, Chapman's offense only needed 2 plays. They were both big ones. A 55-yard gainer for Adiel Becker. And then, of course, the 5-yard touchdown run for Brecken Francis. This is not an offense that is designed to come from behind, but they do have the benefit of time on their side, down by 10, just under 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. They will hand this off, looking for room vertically, and, finding nothing. Adiel Becker, a gain of zip. And a big-time tackle for Cash Hargrave, the linebacker. Stayed home, played assignment sound. It's 2nd down and 10. Chapman's only passing attempt was good. Well, actually, it was wiped off the board. It was a 2-point conversion attempt. Technically, though, still a perfect completion percentage for Andrew Scott. He's 1 for 1 this season. 2nd down and 11. They try to go around the outside, and they are not going to find much there. Colton Bell on the carry, his first of the night. Also, no gain. We got a Cowboy down, and while they take a look at him, we'll remind you that helping us bring you coverage of today's game is Day Excavating and Concrete, specializing in concrete, sewer replacement, septic system pumping, water line repairs, and livestock water systems from Manhattan to Salina, called Day Excavating and Concrete. Also want to remind you that your full-service grocery store in Dickinson County is West Plaza Country Mart, open 7 days a week and always supporting the Chapman Irish. And we would be remiss if we didn't also include a shout out here of Smoky Valley Ag Services, the independent ag retailer and pioneer sales rep committed to delivering trusted advice, high yield potential products, the right crop protection technology, and agronomic insights that you can use to achieve your goals for the growing season. We've had multiple injuries in this game that have had an impact, and with that, we'll go ahead and step away. We're back in just a bit on our Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week, brought to you tonight by Kirsten Day at selling785.com.
From raw honey to wax melts to beekeeping tools, boxes, and frames, AJ Honey Farms has it all and more. Be sure to check out their salves. Salves is a powerful blend of nature's best ingredients. Beeswax, crafted with care to soothe and nourish your dry skin, minor cuts, and burns. And for dry lips, try out their Happy Bee Balm. Treat yourself to their locally produced honey items or get a beautifully packaged gift set for a loved one. Stop in to see AJ Honey Farms at 901 North 9th Street. More than just a honey store.
Well, the injured Cowboy was Heath Hookman, who took a seat. He has helped over to the sideline, and we are ready to resume. It'll be 3rd down and 10 here for Chapman, as the Abilene defense stood tall on both 1st and 2nd. They tried to go to Becker up the middle. They tried to go around the end to Colton Bell. Let's see what they have in store here on 3rd down and 10. Andrew Scott under center, thinking pass, tucks it, wants to run, is kind of between those two decisions. He is grabbed from behind and brought down, and another flag is down. It will not be enough to pick up the first for now, but we'll have to see if we've got a penalty against Abilene that may gift a free first down to Chapman. It is a hold. It is against the Irish. And another back-breaking penalty against Chapman. This time, it is their 11th of the night. So they'll back him up from the spot of the hold. And I believe we're now looking at 3rd and 20. You see on the sideline there, a couple of the Abilene guys asking Abilene to decline it. They feel good about 4th and 2. But I think knowing kind of the whole vibe of this offense, Coach Nix will elect to take it. That 10-yard penalty will back them up 4 yards and make this a 3rd down and 13. By the way, great pass there from the official, tossing the flag to the white hat. That's right, referees are athletes too, sometimes. So 3rd and 13. They did try to go to the air there. That was not a designed run for Andrew Scott. Do they do it again here as we're approaching do or die time? 16-6, 3:12 left to go. They will keep this on the ground. It's an option pitch to the outside, but the Cowboys are all over it. Abilene shuts it down. Aiden Woods first to the party. Levi Evans there to support. And a loss as they go to the outside. There's nothing there. I would imagine we will see a punt here. And for the second time tonight, the Cowboys didn't have anybody back to return the punt. Now they will send Levi Evans back. And Evans will field this. Nope, he'll let it go. That ball takes a skip, a hop, a bounce, and a roll down to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense comes back on the field here for Abilene. And you'll never believe this, but we have another flag down in the backfield. This time it is against the Cowboys. And it will remain Abilene football, but they will back up a little bit. If you've got something bugging you, call Abilene Termite and Pest Control, serving Abilene, Chapman, and the surrounding areas. I know everyone in attendance today has been bugged by these penalties, and there have been a lot of them in this game. Also want to throw a shout out to USD 473 Chapman Schools. Chapman has a tradition of high academic success, school-run business opportunities, and a culture of caring for students. We do what's best for all kids. USD 473 Chapman Schools. So the 4th penalty of the half against Abilene. Still 16-6 with 2:17 left to go. But on that last drive, the Cowboys got basically whatever they wanted. They marched it right down the field, but then they stalled out and had to settle for a field goal. Looking for 6 on this drive. Late 3rd quarter, toss to Hookman on the outside. Hookman has a lane, but he is brought down after a short gain of 4. 19 carries for Lane Hookman tonight, and he is slow to get up. While they tend to him, fans, don't forget, with indoor batting cages for softball and baseball, specialized training for baseball and softball players from Hayes to Wamego and Marion to Frankfort, go see DK Sports and Fitness in Chapman. Also a proud sponsor of our Game of the Week series is Sage Products, your supplier for janitorial products for your business or home. From paper towels to soap and items from ceiling to floor, you'll see products from Sage, and you can get the same home field advantage at your home or office by visiting sageselects.com. Game of the Week, always supported by Copy. back here on our game of the week as Nolan Wilkins hauls in his first catch of the day. They get that for a gain of 12. Funston has really settled in here in the second half. He has now completed 7 of his 14. So it's first down and 10 here for Abilene. 1:42 left to go here in the third quarter. And that offense has been clicking. They will shift the 2 tight ends to the right side, and somebody for Chapman came on through. Was there early motion, or is that encroachment? That is encroachment. So not to be outdone, Chapman collects their 12th penalty of the night. Some free yards for the Cowboys, who are now set up with a 1st and 5. And the sticks. Well, the sticks are not where the football is. They've got it marked at the 43. The football is at the 45. I would think they would sort this out. But seeing, and yeah, I think they did move it up a little bit. Either way, Abilene's offense trying to ride this momentum into the fourth quarter as they lead it 16-6. Pistol set, taken here, rolling out to the outside as Funston throws across his body. It's almost intercepted. He was looking for Wilkins. It probably should have been picked as he threw that thing right into coverage. Andrew Scott, step for step. And it's now 2nd and 5. Minute 23 left to go following the incompletion. Cowboys back at it in the pistol. Lane Hookman lined up directly behind, taking Funston. They'll take it, hand it off up the middle. Hookman breaks a tackle, falls forward, and picks up another gain of 6. 20 carries for Lane Hookman. We'll check our Bennington State Bank scoreboard as they reset the chains. Ooh, Plainville leads Sacred Heart 51-0. Elsewhere, southeast of Salina, boy, they are blowing the doors off of Clay Center. That game's been really close the last 3 years. Not this year. 46-7 is the lead for the defending 2A state champs. Here it's 1st and 10. It's a quarterback keeper. Funston slips a tackle, heads to the outside, and he will pick up 5 yards for his trouble. So another 5-yard gain for Tegan Funston. Time continues to wind here. In case you missed it earlier, DK Sports and Fitness has indoor batting cages for softball and baseball and specialized training for baseball and softball players from Hayes to Wamego and Marion to Frankfort. It's DK Sports and Fitness in Chapman. 2nd down and 6. Pistol set. Funston takes it, keeps it, has 2 guys, tries to hit the circle button and goes backwards for a loss of 6. That'll bring up 3rd and 11. It's one of those games, it's felt like Abilene has been in control from the kickoff, and yet you look at the scoreboard and they're only up by 10. They do not have to run a play before the end of the third quarter, and it looks like they have no interest in running one. So we have reached the end of the third. 16-6 is our score. Coverage of the Dickinson County Showdown is presented by Kirsten Day at selling785.com.
APAC Kansas Incorporated has been building the heartland from the ground up for over a century. From the supply of aggregate materials, hot mix asphalt, and concrete to the construction of roads and bridges, we do it all. You've seen our trucks, and now we want to hire you. APAC in Salina is growing, and we are hiring for all positions. From truck drivers to mechanics, general laborers, and construction, APAC has your next career. For more details, visit the job links page at salinapost.com. Great pay and benefits, APAC is an equal opportunity employer.
No matter what team you support this season, Copy Co. has you covered with off-the-rack and custom apparel for Salina South, Salina Central, Abilene, Chapman, Sacred Heart, southeast of Saline, Ellsworth, Minneapolis, Bennington, Solomon, and El Saline. Don't see what you're looking for in store? They can custom make items so you can support any local team or student athlete. From t-shirts and hats to hoodies and so much more, your home for local high school sports gear is Copy Co., located at 2346 Planet Avenue in Salina. We go to the fourth quarter of the Dickinson County Showdown, presented tonight by Smart Insurance. 12 minutes on the clock, a 16-6 lead for the Cowboys, and we've got another penalty thrown. Early season high school football can be like this. And it looks like this will be another against the Irish. They get him with encroachment. Wow. Talking about a night with 13 penalties against the Irish, 9 penalties against Abilene, and a quarter of football still left to be played. We'll start getting some finals from around the state on our Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Funston sends Heath Hookman in motion left to right. He'll take the snap. One-step drop, fires, looking for Hookman, incomplete. Good coverage there by Colton Bell. And it's fourth down, and here comes the punt unit for the Cowboys. Crazy to think that with all the offensive ground Abilene has made in this half, they've only come away with 3 points. Think about this. They've been outscored in the second half by the Irish, who are looking for some momentum here in the fourth. They need to make this a one-score game to give themselves a chance late. They've got Adiel Becker, their best athlete, back to try and field this punt, but he is not going to have a chance as the Cowboys cover it up at the 10, and here comes the Irish offense. And here, if you're Chapman, obviously you need 2 scores. And for the Irish, the way they run their offense, that's going to take time. Got plenty of it left, 11:45 to go. Basically the full fourth quarter left to be played, but they need a score, a quick stop, and they need to be the last ones to put points on the board. Thought we had a flag down on the field. That's just the bright orange towel of Levi Evans. Of course, Abilene tonight comes out in the orange pants, white jerseys, orange numerals, orange helmets. Meanwhile, for Chapman, it is the green Irish rush look. Green top, green bottom, green helmet. And the offense back on the field here for the Irish. Andrew Scott hands it off on the outside, running the wrong way, but breaking tackles is Becker. I do not understand how Becker has broken as many of these as what he has tonight. It looks like he's grabbed for a loss. Instead, he finds a way to pick up 3 and make this a little bit closer here for the Chapman offense. And there is another player. This is Caden Thrower, slow to get up here for Abilene. Waiting on some finals from around the state. Most games at last check are in or around late third quarter, early fourth quarter. And we've got, I believe, timeout taken here by Chapman. We will step away as well back after this message from our sponsors. Coverage of tonight's game is presented by Smart Insurance with locations in Abilene, Salina, and Harrington.
Obituaries and funeral announcements are available free of charge on salinapost.com. This community service is provided in part by Higher Scott Mortuary and Cremations, formerly Roselawn. Higher Scott Mortuary and Cremations, celebrating life, embracing legacy.
Hey fans, don't forget after the game to check out our Salina Post Facebook page and at S Post Sports on X to see all of the video highlights from around the area, proudly presented by the good folks at Billings Group. And Salina Regional Health Center is hiring. See all their open positions and start your new career today by visiting srhc.com. 16-6. Got our first final of the night. It comes by way of Devin Haney in Gypsum. Southeast of Saline handles their business with Clay Center, and it was business-like. 46-7 is the final. A big win for the Trojans here. It's a handoff, and falling forward for the first down. Another good run by Brecken Francis. Nope, Adiel Becker on the rush. Picks up 7 and a first down. So Chapman moving the football here. 11:30 left to go. Still plenty of time in this fourth quarter. Chapman looking for their first win in this matchup in 4 years. They go again to the tailback. Not a lot of room. Enough for 4. And they're calling it Becker. That is not Becker. That's Kason DeWeese. Or no, Brecken Francis. There we go. We both got it wrong. That's good for a gain of 5 by Francis. Got another final. Yeesh. Plainville finishes off Sacred Heart 51-7. So this is the final game still going on our Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine game of the week. Up to the 30-yard line, a short gain of about 2 on the carry for Chapman. Irish have done enough in this game to stay close. Their defense has played well. I think a sign of better things yet to come. But still trying to sort some things out. Turnovers have played a big role. 2 fumbles by Chapman in this game, and then a 3-and-out deep in Abilene territory. All that has contributed to the 6 on the scoreboard in a game they trail. 3rd and short, handoff right side. Not going to be enough to get it done. A gain of 1 on the play for Colton Bell. And are they going to keep the offense out or punt this away? It's going to be 4th down and 3. And for Chapman, the offense is on the field. Are they measuring this? Oh my gosh, they're going to measure this. I mean, where the sticks are is nowhere near the football. They may not have moved. And but I mean, the other thing with this is you pick up the football, you take it down the field, you move it, you set it down again. And, I mean, you're kind of just guessing at that point. Yeah, they are short, and they'll go for it here. So the offense on the field for Chapman, but in the words of a great Greek philosopher, scared money don't make no money. So they'll line it up and try to run it and pick it up here with 9:51 left to go. Knowing the way this Chapman offense operates, they've got to get this here, or it might be game already. Trying to put together a long, sustained drive and get themselves in. Well, they might have a little something extra diving up the middle. How about that? They carve the path, and it's a big gain for Kason DeWeese. So it proves to be a good call for Jason Grider, who trusts his guys. The offense moves the chains. And with 9:40 to go, still a 10-point game. But there is hope on the Chapman sideline as they're looking to move it here. 1st and 10. Andrew Scott ducks under center, I formation, tight end to the right side. We've got a whistle. The carry here, if it stands, will be a 1-yard gain for Adiel Becker, but we've got to check the laundry. We got a couple of Cowboys down on the play. It's an illegal shift against Chapman. It's been their Achilles heel all night. Penalties now numbering 17 on the night. And for an offense that likes to run and try to get 4 to 6 yards of play, it's tough when you find yourself behind the sticks. Not as much that you can do. They've attempted just one official pass in this game. Chapman blows this up before they even have a chance to get back to the line of scrimmage. The carry goes for a loss. And Adiel Becker is dropped in the backfield. Call it a loss of 3. And the clock fast approaching midnight here on the Chapman Irish. Just a reminder, coming up on post-game, we will have a look at our Bennington State Bank scoreboard as, again, we've got finals starting to trickle in from around the state. 2 of the fastest games to complete tonight, both from our area. Those will be included as there's a break to the outside, and Chapman is gone. They are going to take this down to the 20, tiptoeing, trying to keep it inside. That's a huge, huge play, and they are able to get it to Colton Bell. It's a lightning strike of 60 yards to Bell. My goodness. Well, that'll get you started. Chapman with first down and 10 from the 18, down by just 10 points. The Irish have life late in the fourth quarter. They will hand it off right side, twisting, turning, falling to the 10. It's a gain of 6 for Brecken Francis. Shuffling personnel here. And like I said, for Chapman, they need a quick score here, a quicker stop, and then it's game on for the last, 5, 7 minutes of this game. Under center they go. Handoff right side with room. Still breaking tackles. And it's another good gain for Kaysen DeWeese. He's got a first down up to the 5, and we've got an injured Cowboy. We will step away for the injury timeout. Back with more on the other side. It's the Dickinson County Showdown presented by Smart Insurance.
Close your eyes. Now imagine yourself cheering from the bleachers at Salina South. Feel the pride of donning the colors of Salina Central. Picture the spirit of being part of the Sacred Heart community, or the camaraderie at southeast of Saline. Envision the thrill of supporting El Saline or Bennington. Visualize the unity in rallying for Minneapolis High. Now open your eyes and see yourself in team apparel from Messenger Total Promotions. Visit them in person in downtown Salina.
Sage is your go-to source for industrial strength cleaning products, ice melt, floor equipment, paper, asphalt, and just about everything in between. Whether you're a maintenance supervisor, a small business, or just wanting your home to look amazing, stop by 732 North 9th Street in Salina, where we will be happy to assist you. You can also visit us at sageselects.com or call us at 309-1919. Sage Products, the right call every time.
Ready to take your nursing career to the next level? Memorial Health System in Abilene is hiring full-time registered nurses for their hospital emergency department, and they've got the perks to match. Sign-on bonuses, shift and weekend differentials, a child care stipend, and tuition reimbursement to keep you moving forward. Bring your skills where they'll make the biggest impact, right here in Abilene. Apply today at srhc.com. That's srhc.com to apply for this opening at Memorial Health System in Abilene, taking care of you so you can take care of others.
60-yard run for Colton Bell gets the Cowboys on their heels, and Chapman in striking distance. They will hand it off again up the gut, and there is not a lot there. Brecken Francis takes it ahead. A short gain there for him. For Chapman, I mean, you feel like you got to have it here. Obviously, If you come all this way and you get turned away with under 7 minutes to play, that would be a death sentence. But they've got an excellent chance to get this into the end zone and make this a one-score gain. Up the gut, short gain there for DeWeese, who is ahead for a gain of 2. That'll bring up a big third down. It's got to be 4-down territory here for the Irish. They are not going to come all this way to kick a field goal, I'll tell you that. Got to have a chance to get 6 on the board, ideally 7. And keep in mind that missed 2-point conversion earlier as well. Andrew Scott under center, biggest third down of the game. They hand it off, looking to go outside. Nothing doing. Excellent stop as Caden Thrower makes the tackle. They tried to go outside to Bell. And here's 4th and essentially ball game right here. Chapman broke off a huge run earlier in this game of 55. That time they converted on a touchdown. Here, they've got to have it. 4th and ball game. Scott under center. He wants to go to the air, and he's sacked. The Abilene Cowboys and Heath Hookman come up with a potential game-icing sack, and Hookman read the rollout from the very beginning. That is the biggest play of the day, and it's not even close. That might have just won Abilene this football game. Turnover on downs gives the Cowboys the football back. They still hold the 2-score lead. 16-6 with 5:17 left to go. Handoff Hookman left side, rumbling ahead for a gain of about 6 on the play. Just continuing to push. And that offensive line really starting to get a lot of wins up at the line of scrimmage down the stretch here. If Abilene scores again, this game is essentially over. They hand it to Hookman. Hookman has nothing. He'll maybe get back to the original line of scrimmage on his 22nd carry of the night. Still hunting down some finals from around the area. Earlier tonight, southeast of Salina, 46-7 victory over Clay Center. After 3, Salina Central is up on Arc City, 42-13. Here it's 3rd down and 8. Funston a pitch to the outside, and nothing there again. Chapman's defense still standing tall. It's 4th down. The punt team is on. Here for Abilene. It's going to be a very quick 3-and-out. Chapman, great chance here to get off the field and get off the field quick. Mentioned before, but we may see a big special teams play just yet. Now would be the time, with time starting to become a factor. Just 4 minutes remaining in this ball game. Funston backed up deep in his own end zone, and it's blocked. Chapman is on it. Touchdown, Irish. Chapman blocks the punt. They recover it in the end zone. And you want to talk about an immediate change of momentum. That is as big as it gets. Kason DeWeese falls on it. And it's 6 for the Irish, who are down in this game by just 4. See if they want to line it up and go for 2 or play it safe and kick the PAT. They're going to put the offense on the field, and they will go. To make it a 2-point game, quarterback keeper up the gut. Is he in? He is not. Stuffed by the Cowboys, and it remains a 4-point contest. 16-12 with 3:41 left to play. We'll step away, back in a jiff on the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week, presented today by Kirsten Day at selling785.com.
Astra Bank is committed to providing the dependable financial solutions that will help you fulfill your dream. Whether it's building your wealth or owning a home, visit them in Abilene, Chapman, or online at astra.bank. Astra Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Well, we could be in for a fun fight to the finish. The other question here, if you're Chapman, I mean, I'd say you trust your defense, right? You're only down by 4. 3:41 left to go. You still have, at least according to the scoreboard, all 3 timeouts remaining. So for the Irish, if they can find a way to get a quick stop and get the ball back, a touchdown could win it. Chapman pulled off a huge play earlier in this game. They've had 2 massive runs that have been, big highlights. A 55-yard carry for Adiel Becker, a 60-yard carry for Colton Bell. But those 2 runs have returned just 6 points. Special teams was called upon in a big, big way. And let's see what kind of kickoff Chapman elects to go with here with 3:41 left to go. You got to think, at the high school level, you're not kicking 40, 50-yard field goals. Other than field position, it doesn't kill you to go for the onside here if that's what they want to do. And you can see the hands team for Abilene, everybody is up. They are not expecting a traditional kickoff. If it does, in fact, go deep, Davin Kuba is the deep man here for the Cowboys. He's standing back at his own 25, and Chapman tried to rush it, and we've got whistles. They blow the play dead. Oh, wow, Abilene saw what was coming. They called a timeout. Chapman tried to kind of slow play it and then come out and ambush the Cowboys there. So to reset the scene, a scoreless first quarter, 3 straight turnovers, 2 fumbles by Chapman, and an interception by Abilene finally led to the day's first score. It was Tegan Funston on a 12-yard rushing touchdown to put Abilene up 6-0. Lane Hookman on the very next possession found the end zone on the ground from 2 yards out. It was 13-0 at halftime, but Chapman comes out of the break. The big 50-yard run for Adiel Becker. Then the rushing touchdown for Brecken Francis. That made it 13-6. Abilene went all the way down the field. They had first and goal from the 1, but they were turned away on 2 plays, sacked on 3rd down. They settled for a field goal to make it 16-6. And then Chapman gets sacked for a turnover on downs that we thought might have iced the game, but they force a 3-and-out, and on the ensuing punt, they block it in the end zone. They recover it in the end zone for a special teams touchdown, and here we are. 4-point game. Chapman will utilize Adiel Becker here as a holder. They tried the onside kick last time, and now Becker will stand up. He will not, as I initially thought. Hold this here as he goes and resets it. Becker is the kicker. See if they kick it straight up here. They go for the onside, and they recover it, but they do so early. There's the flag, and it's going to be Abilene football, as that thing only went about 8 yards before somebody for Chapman jumped on it. That's the right call. Across the way, the officials right on top of it had a clear view. And there you go. Illegal touching is the call against the Irish. Hear the moans and groans, but it's got to go 10 yards before you touch it. So with 3 minutes and 41 seconds left to go, Abilene takes over. Looking for one more momentum swinging play to get themselves a week 2 victory and move to 1-1. And let me tell you, there's a huge difference between 1-1 and 0-2. I know it's early in the season, but you don't want to put yourself behind the sticks on the year, so to speak. Cowboys need a solid drive. Tegan Funston in the pistol. Lane Hookman lined up behind Funston. Too tight, too wide. Chapman looks like they want to bring extra pressure. Bad snap, and Funston falls on it for a loss of 10. Boy, all the good that Abilene's offense was doing early in this half, it has just come unglued. Timeout, Chapman. Believe they'll make it a 30. They just want to stop the clock and preserve what's left of the 3 minutes and 31 seconds. And, I mean, if you ask Chapman to roll the football where they would want it, this is probably where they would want it. Huge, huge miscue on the Cowboys. Even if Abilene comes away with a win today, you're probably not going to feel amazing about it. Obviously, you want to beat your rival, but for the Cowboys, a deep drive that ended in a fumble inside the red zone. 1st and goal from the 1 yard line. They settle for a field goal. A couple of silly plays that probably could have swung this game the other way, and then you tack onto that a total of 10 penalties in this game, and a lot of them have been big, but all that would be forgiven if they can find a way to pull off the victory here. 3:33 to go. It is 2nd and 20. Cowboys got to make something happen. Read option, toss to Hookman. He wants to cut it back to the inside. He is tackled at midfield. Good tackle there by Ian Sayers. And Chapman will call their second timeout. So 3:29 left to go. And even with a 5-yard gain there, it is still 3rd and 15. It's been a weird game, to say the least. Last week, we watched a game with a lot of scoring and, oddly enough, no turnovers. This week, it has been a bit of a turnover fest. And that has led to some scoring late in one of the most heated rivalries in the state of Kansas. Got another score for you here on our Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Ellsworth defeats Republic County 40-16. Biggest play of the night for the Chapman defense. It's 3rd and 15. They've got one timeout left. 3:30 left to go in this game. Does Chapman have a stop in him? Handoff off the first hit. Second man is there, and the Irish still cling to life. Lane Hookman tackled in the backfield for another loss of 5. It is 4th and 20, and Abilene will punt. You watch the movies, right? You see the script. You watch them play it up. The adversity, the 3-year losing streak for Chapman, a team that has just slid and slid and slid. And yet, here in year 2, under Jason Grider, this team looks different. There's a different energy to this team. There's a different physicality to their defense. Their O-line looks better. I mean, you take out the penalties, and that has been the key in this game. This could be a much, much different contest. Chapman's broken off a couple of big plays. Abilene's not been disciplined. The Cowboys have had multiple opportunities to put this game away, and they just will not do it. So here we go. 4th down and 22. Abilene had their last punt blocked in the end zone. It was recovered for a touchdown. And the most electric player on the field, Adiel Becker, is back deep to return, and the Cowboys want a timeout. I don't know what they saw that they didn't like there, but they will burn their second. They've got just one left. And this game will come down to whether or not Chapman can find a way to score in under 3.5 minutes. For a team that has only thrown one pass today, they've only attempted passes on 4 plays. Twice the quarterback was forced to scramble. The other time it was a completed 2-point conversion that did not count due to a penalty. Boy, Smart Insurance picked a good game to help you present. And a reminder that Smart Insurance has locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Abilene brings out the punt team. Chapman sends Becker back to return at his own 25. If I am Abilene, I am not putting this ball in the same zip code as Becker. And yeah, they are going to punt this short, and they will take that every day of the week. Field position versus a Becker return. You take giving up the field position, and here comes the Irish defense at the 42-yard line. One last chance to win the Battle of Dickinson County for the first time in 4 seasons. The Irish have had a couple of explosive plays. Most of the big ones have been Adiel Becker. Becker lines up the deepest back in this set. 3 backs lined up behind Andrew Scott. What do you got, Chapman Irish? 3:15 left to go. Quarterback keep. Toss to the outside. That's Becker. Becker's got a lane. Becker looking for the sideline. Cuts it back to the inside. He's across midfield to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 18 for Adiel Becker. And the Irish are on the march. Time continues to tick as we enter the final 3 minutes of action in Abilene. 2 backs in this set. Scott under center. He will give this again, and we've got a flag. And is this coming back? It looks like it might be. And that's been the Achilles heel all night long of Chapman. Is this going to be another false start? Talk about momentum killers. That would certainly be one. And yep, it is against the Irish for Chapman. 15 penalties in this game, each of them very costly. Becker is the deepest back in the set. DeWeese is the front man. Here's the handoff. Becker looking for space. Will get close to the original line of scrimmage, but it's only a gain of 3. That'll bring up second down. Tonight, Becker has broken off runs of 27, 55, 18, and 2 runs of 10. The clock is still running, and you see Jason Grider yelling at his guys, hey, we got to go. Time a huge factor here in a 4-point game. 2:10 remaining. Abilene looking to stand tall. 2nd and 12. They will hand it off. It's a reverse. It comes back to the near side. Breaking contained to the outside, but tackled down inbounds is Colton Bell. It's a gain of 11. They'll stop the clock to set the chains. Bell with a huge break on the outside. If he turned the corner, he was gone. And this is big because they're taking time to set it up, and that is keeping the clock from running. The clock is still with 1:50 to go. Now they'll wind it. Does Chapman have a miracle tucked up their sleeve? Scott, they want to go to the air. He is grabbed, tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. He will, but it's a big sack for the Abilene defense. Castile was in there. A couple other friendly faces in orange in the mix as well. And they got to get back up to the line and run this next play quick. Again, time continues to wind. 1:18 left to go. Scott under center, takes the snap, hands it off the short way. Not a lot there. Colton Bell finds maybe 2 yards. Bell back to the original line of scrimmage. Scott is not an air it out type of quarterback, and because they go under center, Abilene's been right in his face, and here you go. They go to shotgun 4 wide. You never see this out of Chapman. Irish looking for a late miracle. This is Becker. Becker stepping up. He throws the pass to the end zone. Incomplete. That was the best chance that Chapman was going to get as they lofted it up to Isaac Van Meter. And he was open. 44 seconds remaining in this game. But with no timeouts left, this is it for Chapman. Do they go everyone wide again? They do. Adiel Becker in the shotgun at quarterback. He'll take it. Rolling right. This is the ball game. Under pressure. Lets it go. It is intercepted. And the Abilene Cowboys are going to hold on for dear life to win their 4th consecutive game over the Chapman Fighting Irish. Tegan Funston, the recipient of the interception, and that will do it. You have got to tip your cap to Chapman. They played a heck of a game, and they gave themselves a chance late. But when all is said and done, the Irish are going to fall here to 0-2 as Abilene gets into victory formation and gets ready to take a knee. And I believe they'll only have to take one. Well, before that, one more flag for the road. Why not? False start on victory formation. Oh, I can't remember the last time I saw that. It's going to back him up half the distance to the goal, but there's still plenty of time to execute a quick kneel down or two. This was a wild game. It ends up coming down to the final drive, and Chapman had a chance. 40 on the play clock, and that should do it as the Abilene Cowboys going to pick up their 4th straight victory over the Chapman Fighting Irish. They do it by a final score of 16-12. We will be back to wrap it up. Post game is next. This has been the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week. It was presented tonight by Smart Insurance and by Kirsten Day.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
Are you looking to buy or sell real estate? With over 11 years of experience serving Northeast Kansas from Abilene to Wamego, leave it to a professional. Call Kirsten Day, realtor and owner with Homefront Real Estate Group. Buying a home, whether it be your first or second time, is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll make in a lifetime. Therefore, finding the right agent to help you make the process easier is essential. Kirsten Day is there for you and your family every step of the way. Visit Kirsten Day online at selling785.com.
Kurt here from Abilene Termite and Pest Control. We can't control pests like that unemployed 25-year-old living in your basement, but the creepy crawly ones are our specialty. From Salina to Manhattan, Clay Center to Hillsboro, and everywhere in between. We've been locally owned and here for you since 1951, offering great service, a firm handshake, and no long-term contracts. Visit AbileneTermite.com or find us on Facebook. I'm Kurt Phillips, and we'll keep the bugs out for you.
Astra Bank knows the challenges you face as a business owner. That's why they're committed to providing the dependable financial solutions that will help your business thrive. Visit them in Abilene, Chapman, or online at astra.bank. Astra Bank, member FDIC.
Get ready for the 2025 Jeep Scavenger Hunt this Saturday at Marshall Motors in Salina. The day kicks off with a show and shine Jeep car show, 9 to 11 a.m. with cash prizes for People's Choice, Most Trail Ready, and Best of Show. Then hit the trails in the Scavenger Hunt for your chance at $500 cash and awards. Registration still accepted, just $75 per Jeep, and includes 2 barbecue tickets, a t-shirt, and more. Don't miss the 2025 Jeep Hunt this Saturday at Marshall Motors in Salina.
For 40 years, Phillips Seed has delivered top-quality certified seeds. With wheat drilling season approaching, now's the time to reach out to Phillips Seed Farms for the latest variety options and tailored seed treatments. It's also the perfect opportunity to plan your corn hybrids and soybean varieties for the 2025 planting season. Visit PhillipsSeed.com, follow us on Facebook and X, or connect with a local seed dealer near you. Phillips Seed, serving, innovating, growing since 1985.
Back here to put the finishing touches on this, a 16-12 victory for the Abilene Cowboys. They move to 1-1 on the year. Chapman falls to 0-2, and more importantly, for Abilene, they win their 4th straight over Chapman, so it was a 4-game win streak for the Irish. They graduated a class of seniors that never lost to Abilene, and in response, Abilene will graduate a class of seniors that never loses to Chapman. Those two flip-flopping and splitting the last 8 games right down the middle. It was a wild one from the beginning. We traded 3 and outs, and then the Cowboys had a fumble by Funston. It was recovered by Becker. Some momentum for Chapman. They drove deep into Abilene territory, but turned the ball over on downs. The Cowboys couldn't do much with their next possession as they punted away, and then a fumble, an interception, and a fumble set up our first score of the game as Tegan Funston carried it in for 12 yards on a rushing touchdown to put the Cowboys up 6-0. After a short drive, Lane Hookman carried the ball in from 2 yards away for the second touchdown of the game, and the Cowboys were up big, 13-0 at the break. Coming out of the locker room, though, a big-time drive led by the Fighting Irish. It was a 55-yard Adiel Becker carry that gave them good field position for a Brecken Francis 5-yard rushing touchdown. Made the game 13-6. Abilene did respond, but not the way they would have liked to. They had first down and goal from the 1-yard line. They were stopped twice. They were sacked on 3rd down. They had to settle for a field goal that made this game 16-6. And then it was a punt, a turnover on downs for Chapman on a big-time sack. But then the big momentum swinging play. Abilene has a punt blocked in the end zone. It's recovered by Chapman. It makes it a 4-point game. They get the stop. They use their timeouts. And Chapman had a chance. They had Isaac Van Meter open in the end zone for what would have been a potential game-winning touchdown, but they missed him. And an interception by Tegan Funston on 4th down seals the deal as the Abilene Cowboys get the victory. Your final score here, 16-12. Our Vernon Jewelers gem of the game here on the Commercial Tire Center post-game show. It's got to be Tegan Funston. I know he had a bit of a rough day with the interception and the fumble, but when all is said and done, he did what he needed to do, and he led this team from the rushing standpoint. I know you had the rushing touchdown for Lane Hookman, but when they needed big plays, they turned to Tegan Funston, and he also contributes big on defense. He had a couple of big tackles for loss, and, of course, the interception to seal the game. For that, he is our Vernon Jewelers gem of the game. We also take a look one last time at our Bennington State Bank scoreboard here on the Commercial Tire Center's post-game show. As we mentioned before, a couple of finals that we've already received. Salina Central defeats Arc City 49-13. Ellsworth knocks off Republic County 40-16. Plainville takes care of Sacred Heart 51-7. Southeast of Saline defeats Clay Center 46-7. Before we go here, I want to take one last check of X and see if we've got a final in the Salina South game. Boy, it was a back-and-forth battle. They took the lead 35-31 with 1:40 left to go, but Maize South scored another touchdown in just one play. Under a minute left to go. At last check, Maize South is up 38-35. Don't forget, after this game and after every game all season long, you can go to our Facebook page. That's Salina Post on Facebook or at SPost Sports on X to check out highlights from all around the area, proudly presented by Billings Group. But that will do it for us here on the Commercial Tire Center's post-game show. It's a big-time win in the battle for Dickinson County by the Abilene Cowboys. They get it by a final score of 16-12. One last time for Tyler Henry, for our producer and engineer, Travis Godfrey, working with us here tonight. 16-12, the win for the Cowboys. You got it right here on our Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Game of the Week, presented tonight by Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington.
This has been a presentation of